Oh, it would help if I had my mic on. Hello. Welcome. It's another day, another stream in fascist America. Welcome to whatever this is, an attempt at providing education, advocacy, and a little common sense in this digital wasteland. My name is Aubri Devashrayee. Today I saw that Ziwe came out with a new video that is interviewing Tiffany Pollard, and this is a throwback to some millennial core once again, where Tiffany Pollard was originally on The Flavor of Love, this reality TV show, and essentially pioneered the format of what we know as kind of explosive reality TV personalities, where she really understood what she was doing and is the blueprint for so many people who have been in reality TV, and I think really popularized the form. I think she really has informed so much of culture. So I want to take a trip down memory lane and look at some of her best moments. I did not see The Flavor of Love when it was out, but I do know of some of these references. And then I want to watch the Ziwe interview because I'm needing something a little more lighthearted right now, and I think many of us are, so we'll give that a watch. And then talk about current events, what's going on, send Barron to World War III, Operation Epstein Fury, epic fail, whatever they're wanting to call it, it is. All a very transparent attempt to cover up the Epstein files and just be at the behest of the Israeli government. So, hello, Tan. Welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, so we'll go over that. And then there is a hearing happening where senators are they are interviewing or cross-examining Kristi Noem, who is the director of Homeland Security, who is in charge of ICE. And then I want to play that word game that you sent me. I think I have it figured out, but we'll see upon execution what happens. How are you doing, by the way? Yes. Okay. So this is Tiffany New York Pollard's Best Moments in Flavor of Love, Season 1.
I'm Tiffany New York Pollard, and I'm best known for being on The Flavor of Love. I was known for being very feisty and outspoken on the show. I was supposed to put them bitches in their place, and that's what I did 24/7.
I plan to win Flav's heart. In order for that to happen with 20 other women, there's no way I'm gonna play fair. No way.
I'd be damned if he sends me home with the bull crap that I see downstairs.
What Flav and I have going on is totally different from what I have going on with these girls in the house.
Who do you think's gonna be eliminated? Pick 5. You know, I would say all of them.
They're like a loud pack of idiot bitches, and I'm sick of them already. I have nothing to worry
Nice.
about. I have one up on
What day
everyone
is
in the
it at
house,
the
if not
gym?
more.
All right then. What?
Hi.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Not you. You can choke. This was the first interaction I really had with Brain, so I wanted to see her.
This is a moment I forgot about. The not you, you can choke. That, I think, has been quoted on Drag Race before. That's
Her
such an
anger
iconic
level.
line.
I want to
Chest day. Nice.
see if I was powerful enough to twist her mind. It was a mind thing. She got mind screwed by me, and it worked. My advice to the other ladies in the house would be
Just so
beware of
devious.
me, because I'm not backing down. I'll take that whole bottle, actually.
And she understands how to make
You supposed to
TV.
be wearing that damn dress right now, because that ain't what your ass showed up in.
You don't have to use the F word with me. So Flav probably felt like he couldn't get close to her and really feel out who she really is, besides this big, huge joker. I so know I'm not going home tonight.
It's funny because you're a joke. You're a
I'm
joke.
not a joke. You're a joke because you're so fucking damn confident thinking you're going on a fucking
I
You are not gonna be
am. Yes, I am. Because if you did, you get a fucking facelift.
Hey, right hand together. Left hand together.
Miss Hottie.
Right hand turn.
Don't wear that fucking
What's going on? What's the problem?
New
What's
York.
the problem?
New York is
New
everybody's
York.
problem.
New York and who? And who?
Everybody.
I'm gonna get my cigarettes, Flav. Everything's fine. Some of the girls feel like automatically I have an advantage over
New
there.
York. Wait, because I think that they were calling everybody by their state. I don't know if she came in with that nickname. I need to look this
Because
up
I'm
to confirm.
awesome and, I totally have it going on.
Go and have a good night rest, okay?
I'm not the type that holds some shit in when I need to release. So I'm not shocked that I won. I'm not surprised.
New York, if you notice, she talks with her eyes shut, so, you can't really look into her eyes.
The cornrows.
Right.
Hey, it's the 70s today, yo. You know what I mean?
Yes, that's the truth. That's her business. You want all
Going to a senior citizen's home, I felt I looked great and I wasted my outfit. Okay, sure, I can.
Thank you. They are soda tabs.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think they're.
Maybe
I collect
find
them.
like a nurse or
I don't really do it
something that can help with
anymore.
that.
I used to, and then put them on jewelry.
Okay, well, possible is good enough for me. Okay. You want to
Like
go
if it's
and
hanging
sit in here or
around,
something?
I might as well
totally.
like
I'm
put
not
it
gonna do
to
that
some
because
sort of
then
aesthetic
it makes you look
use.
like the bigger person, and you're
No,
so
I
not
don't-
the bigger person.
At least, you know what? I might be a fucking bitch to the heart, but at least I don't smile in all these girls' faces because you fucking are a wolf in sheep's clothing. I'm not. I'm a fucking wolf. You see me coming
like this, so I don't mind. I mean,
No,
eventually.
Smiley, we're not gonna make this about you.
You okay, Chris? I'm good. I only asked you one time.
I would throw this ball at your head.
What you mean for what?
For what? I'm asking you for what? I just asked you if you were okay.
And I said I'm fine.
Okay, but I'm good. I don't need your attitude. You know, Hottie, she's a gold digger, she's a slut, she's a whore, and she's totally fake.
No.
I looked amazing. But Hottie comes out with this big, huge red cape on, and, she wound up looking like the devil himself.
Okay, I'm also looking up Flavor of Love just to remember what the format is of this. So this was the show that she was on that we're getting clips from. And so this show is part of VH1's celeb reality lineup, and its format is similar to that of The Bachelor. 20 different ladies compete for Flavor Flav's heart as they live together in a mansion in Encino, California. He is helped in his quest by his bodyguard and chauffeur named Big Rick. He was also assisted by his mother as well as his former romantic partner, Brigitte Nelson, in the first season, and Tiffany Pollard in the second. The show also helped spin off a string of similar VH1 love shows, including I Love New York, Rock of Love with Bret Michaels, and Real Chance of Love. There were secondary spin-off shows featuring contestants on Flavor of Love, such as Flavor of Love Girls, Charm School, and I Love Money. Okay, so he gives everyone a nickname, that's what it is, and referred to by that nickname for as long as she remains in the competition. As Flav says, he can remember nicknames more so than real names. Flavor of Love features a clock ceremony. He has a big clock that he just wears everywhere, where contestants who are not eliminated receive gold clocks to wear around their necks with their picture and nickname behind the hands of the clock. When a contestant is eliminated, her real name is then revealed, followed by a champagne toast. Okay. Yeah, they were heavy on the production as well. And this, I think, started the precedent of producers getting even more aggressive with TV shows and how they rile up contestants and how they like produce behind the scenes. So, but she, again, also originated so many different like formats for reality TV,
Like,
which is wild.
do you know where we're going? It's the house of the Lord. Have some respect. I can truly sit here and tell you that I love your son. Seriously, I do.
I think for New York to say that she was in love with
The
Lee
blink.
proves that she needs to be certified. I mean, the mom looked like she was gonna gag.
Pumpkin and Hoops. They're both sluts trying to sleep with my man.
Hoops and Pumpkin, pack an overnight bag, because you're joining me at a romantical getaway in Palm Springs where we can relax.
Who and who? Just y'all two?
Don't worry, New York and Goldie, I'll see you the next day in San Diego.
Bitches. Fucking bitches. Both of them. Waiting in line, I always get goosebumps and chills. But then I'm saying to myself, New York, stay strong, because this is a man you will one day be with.
I'll give you the big one.
I know you have a lot of big meat waiting for me. So I know that I was eating them up, rightfully so.
That-
I'm glad it did. You know, I don't want them
That
feeling
also
good.
is a
I want
famous
them to feel
quote.
like shit. So hopefully they did.
Yeah, I mean, smart.
That as well. So hopefully they did.
But you know, broccoli is very powerful. It's, you know, rich in fiber and vitamins. So hey, if I smell like broccoli, I'm proud to smell like broccoli.
That's what you want? You want disharmony in your house, Flav?
Wait,
you
hold
want
on, chill, baby.
Harmony. You know what? Didn't you leave the first motherfucking night? And that
For DIY aesthetics, I agree. Mostly, I'm like, people, like, there are very few things that I feel are that, like, original. We might as well make, like, everyday things not as boring. I don't know. That's my philosophy, I guess.
I'm getting closer to my goal. I'm getting closer to my man. The sooner these girls can get that through their head, the better off they'll be, and they'll be able to go on with their life.
Oh boy.
Poor Hoops. Frankly, I think she's an undercover lesbian. She's an idiot, she's a liar, and I can't wait till she goes home. She's obviously a very, very beautiful woman, but when she opens up her mouth, you know, it's like dirt. The first time I saw Hoop's mom come through the door, I didn't believe it was her mom, you know, it was like, whoa, this is a young girl. How you doing? As I'm getting closer, I hope I get this right. There's the artist. They say that his work looks great from afar, and then once you walk up, it's like, ooh. So I kind of compared, you know, Hoops' mom to that artist's work.
Monet.
Pumpkin was very stiff, you know. It's like, you know, what's cooking in there? Nothing.
New York went and gave him her forehead. How do you taste the forehead?
Work is not gonna back down, and I'm not backing down in any way. Flav is mine, you know, that's how I see him. I'm sorry, it just hit me just now.
You know what? You think you're too pretty, and you're not that pretty.
If she would have acted that way with me as she did Hoops, so help her God, you know, I would have definitely took a chunk out of her freaking Norwegian ass.
Uh-oh, number 7. I ain't gonna lie, but she act like she really doing all that for me. Oh, snap. Damn.
The biggest competition right now, I would say Hoops, because, you know, he has sympathy for her. It's sympathy, sweetie, that's it.
She's flailing around right now with a knife in the kitchen.
In my hand, flailing it around, eating my steak, and I'm
This part
loving
is
it. And I'm
wild.
gonna keep the knife in my hand and live with it. Just live with it, honey. When everyone got back home from the dinner, Smiley confided in me, and it just kills me the way I tell these girls I want nothing to do with them, but they keep coming at me. Now, I don't remind you that you're weak. You show that shit every fucking 5 minutes. And keep
I want nothing to do with them.
Last time I'm gonna tell you.
I would never survive on a show like this.
You come on
I
my
could
balcony
not do
talking
this.
shit. I am a natural beauty. This, I know. This we all know. But at the same time, I am a woman that likes to, you know, play up her features. And I know these bitches would love to look more like Miss New York. I just look damn good. Goldie, she seems a plus-size, loud woman. You know, I'd go as far as to say I slightly acknowledge Goldie. I have nothing against plus-size women.
I slightly
but, you know, when I'm next
acknowledge.
to Goldie, there is
Not fully, though.
a difference. It's obvious, you know. She's a cute girl, you know, cute next to gorgeous. Gorgeous is gonna, you know, devour cute. So, in the looks department, I definitely, you know, I've scored.
That's also a
too high for her
famous
to
line.
catch up.
Gorgeous is going to
I didn't
devour
like it,
cute.
You know, it hurt that he was paying a lot of attention to Goldie, but I think I handled myself well because I see myself pouring the champagne all over the table. And
Her
leaving.
continuing to
I mean, I
hold
was
that
just like
knife.
a millisecond from doing it. Fucking country fucking bumpkin with a fucking white gravy and fucking biscuits. That's all he fucking cares about.
I want you to win your
I'm not
fake
finished.
ass. I don't give a fuck
I'm
if you're
not
finished.
finished.
You're
I'm
a
not
fake ass
finished.
bitch.
I have the dress, and tonight I will be the shit. You know, dessert was there. We didn't need dessert. You know, Flav was my dessert. I was his dessert.
That also is a meme. I will
We just
be the
served
shit.
each other up on a platter.
At least I didn't gain 20 pounds being on the show, you fat ass fucking transvestite looking
I look
bitch.
better than you making your accent
Oh,
right
we're
now.
using
Yes,
some
the hell
slurs.
I do. I don't know how to stand alone. I knew
is the
from
early
the beginning in this
2000s.
competition that it was very important for me to stand alone always because that shows Flav that he has a solid woman in the house. Pumpkin's calling me out. For her to bring that up just shows how petty and childish and immature she is, how easy she is to basically crunch. You know, I'm crunching her. Pumpkin, she's a trash bag. It just seems like she's just there to
She's a
make out
trash
with him and see
bag.
how far she can go. Do I like Pumpkin? No. Do I respect Pumpkin? No. Does Pumpkin still need a facelift? Yes. How was your evening?
Oh my
Pumpkin?
God.
Good.
I wasn't interested in how the day went. I just wanted to pump her for information. Oops, she was slow at answering that door. I think she knew that I was on the other side. She's obviously bothered by the fact that I spent the night with Flav. Do I give a damn? No, I don't.
He's going with Hoops right now.
You think so?
He is. Oh,
What
you
the
didn't
fuck
hear
are you
it.
talking about? Wait.
He's leaving with Hoops right now and her mom. Where are you going?
What are you talking about?
What?
I don't know if a woman that deserves to be here is going to leave tonight.
I'm getting ready to go on mine right now.
How would she know that? I mean,
Because
she's
Flav
totally
is back
clueless.
now.
No, that's not true.
She's like, what? Oh, stop. Oh, stop. Oh, stop.
Don't tell me this.
Speak no more. Like, just weird shit. And I was like,
Hello,
oh, is she
Night in the
okay?
Loft.
Like, I didn't know what
Welcome.
to do.
Good to
So
see
she's
you.
going on her date right now?
Hoops is having her one-on-one tonight.
What the hell are you talking about?
She has a one-on-one with him.
She's devastated about the date.
Keep it together. Keep it fucked together. Oh my God. When love is involved, I tend to be very territorial. I wouldn't call it jealousy because I'm usually the superior woman. I'm a wreck.
So I want to watch some moments of Tiffany New York Pollard, and she was on Ziwe, and I really enjoy Ziwe's content. So I want to watch that interview, but also get some of these highlights. And then we'll get into maybe the like not so lighthearted just with like current events and what's happening, but we need to break things up, right?
Been doing is eating, and I'll probably eat all night. Taking every ounce in me not to go upstairs. What kind of ice cream is that? I could have swore I heard a moan.
I think New York wears cologne instead of perfume because she said when men smell it on her, like it makes them feel sexy because they smell themselves. No, this bitch has lost it.
They're both lesbians. I would say that Pumpkin would be the lipstick lesbian and Hoops would be, you know, the man. You should have just sat
Oh my God.
because you need to shut the fuck up. This is real shit right here. This is real shit. Shut up. Were you trying to address me?
You cannot say that.
I just said you're the aspiring actress.
I haven't did any TV shows and I have not been playing with his heart and he knows it. That's why I'm standing up here and you're getting ready to get the boot. Pumpkin is eliminated. The fucking bitch tries to call me out. She's telling Flav that I'm an aspiring actress, which I am. Bye, Pumpkin. Bye, Pumpkin. I can't wait to get to my man. Like, that's the love of my life. That dress looks awful close to mine.
Somebody must be jealous.
I look great. I'm not jealous, Hoops, and you know it.
Actually, I can slap the shit out of you because
Do it! Slap me, bitch! What? You motherfucking whore! You put your motherfucking hands on me!
This is a famous fight.
Fucking spit in my motherfucking face! Bitch, I would take you out! And that bitch breath stinks too. I smell the shit all in my hair.
Check this out.
Her breath smelled like straight up shit. It smelled like a toilet full of nasty ass shit, okay? I must say this right now. I'm gonna take this clock because I want it from my heart. And I thank you for letting me be in the house. But I wanna go whip that motherfucking bitch ass right now. Well, I'll answer you like a lady. I have to room with Hoops. I was just hoping that this was a prank or a joke.
Talking about something, she's sexy and seductive. She dresses like a damn tramp. You know what I'm saying? She has her ass out. I don't know what's seductive about that. She don't have an ass. She might got one now because she done gained 15 pounds since she been here. You know, titties hang down to here with the nipples underneath. Vaseline being covered all over your body. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's seductive about that.
For me to answer the question, I'm gonna answer it like an adult. Obviously, there's
like an adult. I'm keeping it
Excuse
real.
me, I'm talking to Flav.
So what?
I'm not gonna argue over dinner.
I ain't arguing either no more.
Especially with you. New York is in the motherfucking house. You think I forgot about that shit? Hell no, bitch. You spit in my motherfucking face. New York is on your ass in 5, 4, 3, 2, motherfucking
Oh, she looks scared.
Your opinions are your opinions.
And yours are yours.
Exactly.
He's like, why did I start this show?
Once Flav sees me, he's gonna say, Hoops who? You know, she's totally gonna be oblivious, gone from his mind, you know.
Doesn't matter if I'm black or white, I'll still talk my shit, bitch.
Fuck about your skin color, bitch. Now shut the fuck up, all right? Let's get scrumptious for my man. I'm just ready for him to just gobble me up, you know? It's time. Pumpkin and Hoops, they should definitely beware of NY, New York, because that man upstairs, I love, admire, and already cherish. And I am not gonna leave his side. Bow out gracefully, or if you don't wanna bow out gracefully, I'll take you head on. It looks better on me anyway.
We'll let Slave be the judge of that.
Look at the material.
You should be going home
You
anyway.
can be the judge of it. You know what? My ass been on pause, but I'm finna press play in a motherfucking...
we have to go back.
I love, admire, and already cherish. And I am not gonna leave his side. Bow out gracefully, or if you don't wanna bow out gracefully, I'll take you head on. It looks better on me anyway.
This is
We'll
also
let
a
Slave be the
quote.
judge of that.
Look at the material.
You should
Look
be
at the
going home
material.
Be
anyway.
the judge of it. You know what? My ass been on pause, but I'm finna press play in a motherfucking millisecond. Cause I'm all over that bitch in a motherfucking millisecond. Now ask that bitch what the fuck you gotta ask her. Hurry up. Yeah. But hopes, you have hope. I don't need hope. I don't work on hope. I work on fate. Okay. And fate says to me
your ass out that
door. You are leaving. I ain't gonna spit because I got way more motherfucking class than you. You know why? That's why I'm not gonna spit in your motherfucking face.
Is this class?
But you know what? You know what? I am, however, gonna spit sweat your motherfucking ass.
He knew what was happening.
You, Miss Tattooed all up.
I know you ain't talking about a tattoo on your titty.
Oh yeah, doesn't it look scrumptious?
This weekend I was in a huge reunion of Scouts from Friday to Sunday. Whoa, and parties at night. I had 4 hours of sleep. Damn. Yeah, there is a lot happening on your end and coming back to what's happening in the world. It's really wild.
Scrumptious? Isn't it scrumptious? I'm a bitch slap. I'm a
That sounds fun while it lasted.
Flav and I
Hopefully.
have been very intimate together. And it's not sex. I'm talking love making. Yes. It was beautiful. We made music.
You know how I feel about you. and
We
I'm done.
made music.
New York, don't be mad at me. I'm gonna roll with hoops.
Don't be mad at me. I'm a roll with hoops. Instead of just saying, instead of just going with her from the beginning, he starts with, don't be mad at me. Because he knows that she's gonna be mad.
I got kicked out. Did Flav kick me out of there? But, like, he is with her. Like, she's with him.
The fact that this caption is saved slave and not
Why
slave
the
is
fuck
really
did he do
egregious.
that? Like, you know what I mean? I understand. I don't want to get pissed at Flav. But he's a fucking idiot right now.
Okay, now it does this time.
Either you love New York or you hate New York. You know what? Fuck you if you hate me. You know, if you love me, I'm with you.
If you love me, I'm with you. Land Insider. Land Insider is an amazing drag king. And what a great drag king name. Okay. How does she come up with all these one-liners right on the spot? She low-key is a genius. Exactly. I wouldn't call it jealousy because I'm usually the superior woman. I love how every time someone called New York a T-word or a drag queen, she always responded with, and I look fabulous. Exactly. You can choke. Yeah, this is why reading is an art form for queer people. Why it's important. Imagine how tired her shoulders are from carrying the entire show. Okay. So let's get into the Ziwe interview. This is going to be very entertaining.
New York is in the house.
Live with that bitches.
Oh my gosh, New York, you look beautiful.
No, you do.
Tonight, I interview reality star and meme queen, Tiffany Pollard.
What do you want your last words on the screen to be?
You are an old maiden type of shoe type of ass bitch. You test me? I'm gonna fuck you up. Cause I can take the champagne, pop the cork, and rain down all over your beautiful black ass. Can I say the D word
You
or
can
no?
say whatever you want.
Omarosa is choking on a big fat. Get in the field. Fuck them bitches up. Upstate New York is the roughest of the rough.
Much
is
like
already
former
off to
President
a
George
wild
W. Bush,
start.
someone has thrown a shoe at your head.
I should be president. Stop playing games. When MC Hammer said you can't touch this, he was talking about me.
You frequently use the word whore as a pejorative.
What the is a pejorative?
What does a penis look like?
Before I knew what it was or now?
Are you in therapy?
I don't think a therapist has enough time.
My most iconic interview yet.
Can you curse me out?
Make sure you cut that shit out. I don't want to get canceled.
Oh, now that means I have to put it back in.
Beyonce, call me.
Ziwe starts now.
My next iconic guest became a star 20 years ago on VH1's Flavor of Love. She is a reality TV icon, a meme queen, and a queer representative. Please welcome
Representative.
Tiffany Pollard.
Yeah, she's an icon.
I'm really here.
Woo! New York is in the motherfucking house.
Yes. Oh my goodness. Ziwe, first of all, thank you for having me in here. There's a lot of books and everything. I feel like a young scholar.
So can you state for the record your race, your gender, your pronouns?
My race, I'm a good Southern chocolate brown, dark skin. And then on top of that, my gender would be non-binary, meaning that I'm very flexible and feminine and masculine energy. And what's the last question?
Pronouns.
I didn't know that Tiffany was
Him, her, she, and
non-binary.
who, and they. And we will.
And that bitch.
And that bitch. Okay. Was I supposed to say that? Oh my gosh, I don't know where I am right now, but I love it.
Am I making you nervous, New York?
You're thrilling me.
I
it's
love
like
that
going down a roller
Tiffany's
coaster wearing
non-binary.
nipple clamps. I'm here for it.
So sexual.
Oh, well, I can't help it. Sorry.
What's your horoscope and how do you use it to justify your personality disorder?
I am wearing, this is a Capricorn symbol.
Oh, that's a C.
It is? Is it not backward or is it?
It looks like an L.
Oh, shit. Miss Katana Blade gifted me with this.
I'm a Capricorn moon.
Oh, what that mean?
So with horoscopes, you have a sun, you have a rising, you have a moon. So the moon is like your internal self.
I'm looking at you internally. Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, it's so good. Oh, wow.
What do you see?
Oh my goodness, you're dripped in diamonds. Your internal is just all stony. It's blinging, it's shiny. It's a very exciting place to be.
You're just saying that because I have a chow chow.
I'm really in tune with being a Capricorn. I do feel like I'm an earth sign. I have horns. I'm very masculine. Okay. I'm always down for a new endeavor. That's why I'm with you right now.
We're exploring a new frontier.
She said it, y'all. And I'm here to roam.
Coming up, do you see yourself as the Beyonce of reality TV?
I feel like I could never be the Beyonce of reality TV because I don't want to work that many hours. I'm not here to sweat, baby. I'm here to be pampered and laid back and be a complete queen.
Honestly,
and
fair.
I'm a pillow princess. You do all the work. But that's why she paid like she is.
I love her.
I do too.
Have you met her?
Can I tell you a story? Ziwe, I swear to goodness, I was at a restaurant sitting down, having my little Cabernet and whatnots. She was next door. She walked into this, it was a very fancy restaurant.
Flex.
That I was at, and then she was right there. And then my man, she's like, Beyonce just walked in, and TMZ was catching her and all that. I'm like, well, why the fuck didn't you page me and so I can go see her and meet her finally?
Yeah.
And see if she knows the Beyonce, bitch, you look like Luther Vandross clip. Beyonce, call me. Did you ever see that clip?
We're gonna find out.
Okay.
You're from Utica.
Yes.
Is calling yourself New York stolen valor?
I love the fact that I'm from upstate New York.
Stolen valor.
Hello, holler if you hear f***ing me. Stand up, Central New York, because if you can make it anywhere and you make it in New York, upstate, all right.
I don't think that's what that song was about.
I know, but they lied about it because upstate New York.
Who is this? This is Tiffany New York Pollard. She is a reality TV star. She was on The Flavor of Love. Oh, I didn't notice that there's the Leslie Jones book. That's great. Tracy Morgan book. Look at all these autobiographies up here. Okay, anyway, Tiffany Pollard is a reality TV icon. She originally was on The Flavor of Love with Flava Flav and kind of like originated so much of like reality TV culture nowadays and just had all of these like really iconic one-liners. And so now she is being interviewed by Ziwe. US TV having to cut the video every 5 minutes for 10 minutes. I know, that is so true. Because we have very little attention span. They're very small, very short. But yeah, I only it wasn't that long ago. You probably remember when I was watching all of these ads unnecessarily. So sorry to put you through that, but I'm glad we're past that time in my life.
Cornhill is the roughest of the rough. And Flav, as soon as I said I'm from upstate New York, he said, shut up, your name is New York.
It's interesting because you told EW that you initially hated the nickname New York.
Yeah.
Because it was boring.
Yeah.
Compared to names like Bubbles and Delicious, Hottie, Pumpkin. Why do you want to be objectified?
Because it's more sweltering. I wanted to get excited down below my belt because if I'm doing a dating show and it's a love show, it's like, how am I going to get hot and bothered by New York? Like, I'm thinking about pizza. I'm thinking about getting robbed and mugged.
Oh.
So it didn't really get me there.
And what would you have named yourself, essentially?
Champagne Rain. Because I can take the champagne, pop the cork, and rain down all over your beautiful black ass. But he missed it, and he missed his chance.
Well,
Honestly, I'm the head bitch in charge of any room I walk into. I have to allow, the overflow. The masking, the basking. Bitches bow down.
As the HBIC, how would you fix income inequality?
Everyone needs to be paid.
Got it.
Give everybody a chunk of money and see how they ruin it. Why make it up in their minds that they don't know what to do with it?
Okay.
See how they ruin it?
Negativity.
Because I shop too much.
You do.
But I give back a lot.
Where do you give back to?
Oh, shit. Why you gonna girl, why you gonna put me on the spot like this, though? Oh, shit. We're not, first of all, squirrels need love and attention. Birds. I try to give back to wildlife.
Where did that come from?
And is that an organization, or are you just throwing nuts at any animal that passes your path?
Okay, Chewy.com has been talking to you. I order nuts by the bulk. And I like to throw them out all over the land and stuff like that. I do that a lot. But I do. Well, oh gosh, do I give back enough shit? No, I don't. I need to.
Okay, well, the HBAC is going to start today. What is the non-binary
saying
version
that
of
she
HBAC?
doesn't at the end?
I don't think it exists because I wanted to know how my parts worked before I saw a gentleman. The first time I made a mistake and saw. Can I say the D word?
You can say whatever you want. You have been, by the way.
I have been?
Yes, but
the
please.
whole time?
Continue.
When I saw a dick for the first time, I didn't know that there were nuts involved. So I thought that it was a dick under the dick, which is very intimidating. So I was like, I don't know.
I don't think that it was due to TV that people have shorter attention spans, but only due to money. I mean, that too, with like ads, how breaking up ads and stuff, but yeah, TV, think social media, so short form content, like the quick stuff that gets you like a dopamine rush. I think that all makes it this frame that I feel with the under the dick, which is very intimidating.
Never want to be with a man. So I saw a dick and he flapped his thing like that and something else made a noise with it. So I didn't know that was a nutsack. I thought it was two dicks. I'm like, where am I supposed to put this? So obviously I'm gonna be gay.
What is the sex education like in Cornhall, upstate New York?
It doesn't exist.
Two dicks.
At the same time, I don't want that.
Well, it doesn't exist.
Then I saw that it didn't.
Well.
I'm like, okay, this is a nutsack. This is what comes out if you want to be interested in having a baby or getting zitted on your face.
If you could draw the male anatomy using your finger, what would you draw? What does a penis look like?
Before I knew what it was or now?
Before.
Before, it was like, this is a dick.
Yes.
This is a dick.
The second
because
dick.
I heard it. Yeah, pop, pop. When you flap your nuts.
Yes.
Underneath your dick. I thought it was two dicks. So yeah, it was very scary for me. So of course I was gonna be non-binary now. I love good.
You are infinitely memeable.
Yeah.
Are you collecting checks off of these memes that go viral on TikTok and Twitter and Giphy.com?
She needs to.
Say the youthful generation is keeping the HBIC very relevant. Hell yeah. Because the cameos, overload, TikTok, all that shit. But am I getting paid off the means per se, like paycheck to paycheck? The paycheck? Hell no.
And that's to the internet, Al Gore's internet?
Anybody that's responsible
Al Gore's
for me not
internet.
getting paid. But they paid me up front. I can't really complain because I get everything I want. Shit.
Are you your ancestors' wildest dreams?
Because I'm free? Yeah. They cry at my shoulder blades. They cry at my feet. They cry at my kneecaps and say, bitch, you better run.
Wow.
Because you running for us. Let me sip off of that. I love y'all.
That was so spiritual.
They do come and see me.
I believe you're psychic
It's
also.
a roller
Yeah, they come
coaster.
see me.
Coming up, David is Dead is one of the most confused moments in TV history. You confused David Bowie's death for your housemate, David Guest.
Yeah.
Please answer, what is your favorite David Bowie song?
Oh! Oh, wait. Oh, shit. Help me. What did he say, y'all? Wait.
Or Netflix and the other things like that doesn't work.
Come on, chameleon.
Yeah, exactly.
Come and go. They come
Aren't they
and
starting to do ads now too or something? I feel like everyone is just doing that now, where they're like, okay, we're going to create our own like TV channels within channels within channels, and now it's all a paywall. So sorry.
You speak like a prophet. Where do you get these scriptures from? Do they just pop into your head?
How do you know this?
Because I watched you on television for 20 years.
Ziwe, you ain't lying to me, girl.
What are you saying?
You see me? Like, you really see?
Yes, you said you're psychic.
Mm-hmm.
And then you also speak, you speak things like Omarosa's a
Yeah.
and that sort of sticks. And do you use your spirituality for good or for bad or neutral?
I mean, it just depends on who with me that day.
Okay, so that sounds like bad.
It depends on you.
Yeah.
Not you, but them, y'all.
Are you in therapy?
Everybody that meets me and loves me and adores me say I should take up a session or two.
Oh, and you haven't?
Oh, hell no.
Why not?
I don't think a therapist has enough time. I don't think I'm qualified to sit in therapy. What are we going to talk about? I'm just a normal person.
The look to the camera.
Do you still smoke cigarettes? Or would you like to take this time to tell the youth that smoking kills?
Smoking does kill your pockets. But when it's inside of you, you're gonna stay thinner, you're not gonna have an appetite, and you're just gonna feel like, you can tell any bitch off. Listen, I smoked for plenty of years and it felt great. I don't know what they're doing to the cigarettes now, though. That's why I put them down. Don't smoke now. This is 20 years ago, you guys.
Cigarettes or vapes?
Oh, shit. Somebody let me hit their vape recently, and I was like, wow, I need to get one. I need to invest in a vape. It's like smoking 10 cigarettes in one hit.
Yeah.
I love that shit. It was so good.
Would you say your return to season 3 of House of Villains is a triumph of the human spirit or a recession indicator?
Ooh, a little bit of both, because baby, yes, he's in the purse. But at the same time, I am dedicated to being a black-ass bitch. When you see my face...
I haven't seen House of Villains, but apparently it's like where you're getting a lot of like reality TV villains together, and there are a lot of Drag Race people, Real Housewives people, so... I need to watch that. I don't even know where you would watch this.
That I'm coming at you. I'm gonna say my shit, do my shit, and baby, you're gonna whimper before me.
Who is your biggest enemy?
In the house?
Yeah.
Ooh, there was a lot of them. Ziwe, they hate to see me coming.
I bet.
They think I'm trouble.
You're not trouble.
I just want to stick around.
But then sometimes you hallucinate people talking about you.
I do.
Yes.
It happens.
And what are the voices saying in your head when that happens?
Oh my gosh, these bitches
She
hate
just calls
you.
it out. Just like sometimes you hallucinate this. Let's see. You can watch House of Villains. Fandango. Does anybody have this? Peacock, Hulu, Amazon. Okay.
Girl, they want you gone. Why are you here? How does she get a third chance? We can see maybe bringing her back a second time, but a third time she's here? This is unfair.
Which house has more evil people, the House of Villains or the House of Representatives?
We wasn't gonna speak no politics up in here.
Okay.
But sweetheart, when you're taking away benefits,
okay,
and you're not allowing people to thrive, but you wanna sit your ass down on a gold toilet and take a shit, I have a problem with that.
Wow.
A gold toilet when people are hungry? Food stamps matter.
Period. You got worked up there.
I did, because I care about the people. I should be president. How about that?
Would you run for president?
Ziwe's so excited.
What they paying these days?
I think the base salary is like $175, maybe $400 tops.
Unless you're engaged in
$1 million?
corruption and insider trading.
No. Oh, that. Let him do it. But he up.
Coming up, you famously said, "Don't hate me because I'm fabulous." Why should people hate you?
I feel like people should hate me because they can't relate to me. I feel like people should hate me because they can never be me. I feel like people should hate me because I'm an entity. I'm halfway human, halfway entity.
Oh.
When MC Hammer said, "You can't touch this," He was talking about me.
You famously said, good morning, good morning, good morning, not you, you can choke. So let's play a game called You Can Choke. I'm going to list some celebrities and famous co-stars and
You
tell
can
me if they
choke.
can choke and how.
That one.
Omarosa?
Oh, Omarosa is choking on a big fat dick.
Jax Taylor.
He is choking on a Nylar bone because he's a dog.
Tom Sandoval.
Tom is choking on a cosmetologist. Wait, no, a cosmetologist? What is it called when they mix the drink? Cosmetologist?
Cosmetaliban. It's Cosmetaliban.
Tom is choking on a large-ass Tom collagen mixed with a lot of f***ing dirty martini juice. So how is that cosmetologist? You.
Was he an enemy in the house?
No. He really had my back a couple of times.
She sounded
Tyson, Apostle.
He's
so
choking on a banjo
disappointed in
because
it.
he's a dope, sick hillbilly. And he sold his banjo for crack cocaine because he had the nerve to call me a name.
What did he call you?
Grandma. I'm not grandma yet. I'm still a MILF, bitch. I know plenty of motherfuckers that want to hit this. I ain't no grandma, not yet. Almost, but not yet. And if I was a grandmother, I could make a hell of a set of good cookies and bake cakes, bedtime stories, and give you wisdom. So maybe I am a grandmother. Oh, sorry, Tyson. You ain't no dope, sick hillbilly. You might be telling the truth.
I just watched you go through all 5 stages of grief.
In life?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. My eggs are old.
You referred to Omarosa as a sucking, guzzling Republican saying, and I sleep better at night knowing that you're not in the White House.
Yeah.
Is it okay to slut-shame women if you disagree with their politics?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I really needed her vote, Ziwe. She wasn't there for me. And then she called me out about not giving me the vote. So yeah, you test me, I'm gonna f you up.
Coming up, you frequently use the word whore as a pejorative.
What the f is a pejorative? Hello, are we back at school?
You use the word whore as an insult.
Okay. Oh,
Thank you.
But
Thanks
I can
for being
use
here. It was good
pejorative when I
seeing you.
say insult from now on.
Pejorative.
Pejorative?
No, it's like, it's a pejorative. That's an insult.
Okay. So if I'm saying f you, I'm pejorative in you?
F you is the pejorative.
Okay, so pejorative. Bitch, f you. I just did a pejorative.
I'm gonna read an excerpt of one of your most famous quotes.
Okay.
And please just enjoy this literature.
Oh, I get to sit back?
Pretty much, I would let Gemma know that she is a fat and the shoes that she gave me were not something that I would particularly buy for myself.
They were
old maiden
type of shoes. And she said that those shoes were meant to be worn on a beautiful woman.
The music. Old maiden type of shoes. It's like medieval music in the back.
So if that's the case, she should have put them back on the rack. And she should never even purchase them because she was unqualified to own those shoes if that's the case. And I think Gemma is just a disgrace. She's a disgrace to women who are actually beautiful and classy. And
she just doesn't have the vernacular that she thinks she possesses. Somebody lied to her several times and told her that she was fly, hot, and sexy and beautiful, and she's nothing like.
That's also famous. Someone lied to her several times and told her that she's fly, hot, and sexy and beautiful.
Like that, she's nothing of the sort.
I would drink to that.
What about the at home who are offended by that type of language? Do you want to apologize to them?
No, you need new shoe game because you are an old maiden type of shoe type of ass bitch. Get rid of them penny loafers. Get rid of them Doc Martens, making your feet look 2 times bigger than they are.
Ooh.
Ho, you need new shoes, bitch.
After Pumpkin spit on you, you threatened to whip that bitch's ass.
Yep.
If you could spit on a former coworker, who would it be?
What area did they need me to spit on? Because this can get sensual. You're going to get excited after I spit on you because I know how to make it make sense. Because that's what I thought spit was meant for.
I like how, as a pendulum, you swing from sex to violence, to sex to violence, and I really never know what to expect. Could you give a PSA to camera to say that violence is never the answer?
Hear it from me, the original HBIC. Violence is never the answer. You want to talk it out, think it through. And if you don't know what to do, go to the higher ups. Someone will help you. Call a mom or dad or somebody that's gonna lie to you and tell you not to fight when you need to be on the field. Get in the field, the bitches up. Because hello, they tried you. Don't let nobody try you. You only get one time around the bend. You better let these bitches know. Don't fight though, y'all. That connects with that.
Bye. It was good
Coming
seeing
up,
you.
You also once said that you trust Teresa Giudice because you respect her hairline. Who else has a hairline you trust?
I've never seen anything like that. Ziwe, it was like a
Respect
wig
her
that needed to
hairline.
be
Honestly, that's
from,
real.
Like, from now and for 3 hours.
How low was it?
If someone sent me a wig in the mail with that much density, I would send that shit back. You see how I got a little bit of,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was none of that. It was just zoom, zoom, Herman Monster. Seriously, Herman Monster hairline, for real.
Herman Monster.
Which do you give less of a about, women's rights or gay rights?
I really got to go deep in the paint for both of them.
Okay.
I really do. I have to. Well, listen. Now, bitches, let me tell you. If he that's when I get a little bit, why are you
Tiffany, I'm gonna stop you.
Okay.
We're gonna cut that out.
Oops. Okay, thank you.
Why would you say that?
Because it go.
I know that you don't want to go to therapy, but...
Wait, she really gonna cut this shit out?
Say.
Cut it out. Make sure they cut that shit out. I don't want to get canceled.
Oh, now that means I have to put it back in. Okay. Do you think that your status as a gay icon is a lifetime appointment, or can it be impeached?
Impeach mean that they're not gonna shave my vagina no more?
What?
Impeached. Okay, that means that you're a president and then you're no longer. Grade school, it pops in when I sit with you. Only with you, though. I still have to answer your question?
You told Hottie, Beyonce, you look like Luther Vandross. What advice do you have for people who are more Luther Vandross than Beyonce?
Work on your pipes. As long as you have good pipes like Luther Vandross, you're gonna navigate this world. But Beyonce thinking that she looked, for how did it think she looked like Luther Yeah, you see how distorted the bitch was? She was ugly as pop eyes,
Oh my God.
nappy ass wig, and talking about she's Beyonce. I'm supposed to believe this picture?
New York, we don't say nappy anymore.
Well, I can because my kitchen is nappy as I will not get a text lax. Oh, wait, this is more cancel shit they can do? We can't say nappy? What that? What do you think I have under this wig? I have cornrows. I look like Ever Iverson. I have cornrows going back.
Can you speak to all the people, all the nappies?
Don't use a small comb. Large tooth comb, ho, and oil it down. You might go through a little bit easier.
Coming up, do you trust
great
ugly
advice.
Yes. Because they're ugly. They're holding all the snacks. They're holding all the secrets. I'm gonna go to the ugly person if I need directions.
And how many ugly friends do you have?
All of them. All my friends are ugly.
So can you speak to ugly people at home and say that they matter?
Oh, where my ugly bitches at? Listen, when I hit y'all up, it's because I love you. It's not because you're ugly. It's not because you're gonna do all the shit that I don't wanna do. It's because I have a deep affection for you. Please don't block me. I love y'all.
So you famously didn't know what break a leg meant, and
All
thought
of
someone
her
was going to
friends
break
are
your legs.
ugly.
Do you always assume violence?
I do feel like a bitch is gonna try me.
Why?
I just met you. Why are you telling me to break my leg?
I'm going to introduce you to a couple other euphemisms, and you tell me what they mean.
Okay.
Bite the bullet.
Make sure that mother go off when you put it in your gun.
Okay, twist my arm.
You need your arm twist. Why did you lie to me?
Eat your heart out.
Goodness, Jeffrey Dahmer? I'm not eating no humans.
Pick someone's brain.
Ow! I'm tender-headed. I don't like that.
Kill two birds with one stone.
Why do we eat pheasants? Why do we eat turkey?
Take a stab at it.
Is this in the front or in the back?
Bury the hatchet.
We can be friends, kinda. I know what that one means.
May the force be with you.
James Earl Jones, baby, I love you. That's some Star Trek shit.
How many black friends do you have?
I'm like a double stuffed Oreo.
Okay.
Give me all the cookie with no cream.
Got it.
Black, for me, it has to go back to like, what the is it? What's that thing that they used to put in the thing to make the house hot? Coal. I'm charcoal black.
You're charcoal black.
Yeah. Just because I want to make it make sense, you know?
And this is making sense.
Black is beautiful. It's strong. You know, it's misunderstood at times. And, you know, I wouldn't trade this coating for anything else. I mean, it's deep, it's melanin, and I love it.
I love it. And if you could name some of your black friends.
Why did you go back to that?
Because it was very...
What? See why you playing?
Because your manipulation doesn't work on me.
Yeah, okay, shit. Black friends. I have a lot of black friends.
Name 5.
Okay. Could they be mulatto or no? Fuck. Omarosa. Wait, no. No, wait. No, black friends. Okay. Amber Rose, Jason Lee, Jocelyn Hernandez. Are these people black? If you black, you my friend. I'm just gonna hoard everybody in. Cause shit, I got a lot of mixed friends. I didn't notice until just...
And biracials exist.
Okay, good. Cause I love a good biracial. You mean the hair behaves?
Tiffany.
Mm-hmm.
And if you could just give a word of encouragement to the biracials.
Listen, when I see you, I see me. I see a little bit of them.
Oh my gosh.
But I don't hold it against you. Because you know why? Because we're together. And it's not your... Wait, you gonna get me canceled again.
I'm gonna get you canceled.
Listen, got 1 ounce, you black. You black. That's all I'm gonna say.
That's all you're gonna say?
No, because I'm gonna say more, but you're gonna get me canceled.
Oh, you've already said it. Coming up, are you sex negative?
If it's before 10 a.m., I'm sex negative. But if it's at, 10 p.m., I'm sex for it.
And then you call people whores and sluts and guzzlers.
Yeah, why not? Them bitches know they take the dick like that.
What inspires this kind of improvisation?
I can't get time back. It's on my side, but it's not on my side. There is sand clicking down out of my goblet. So the sand meter is clicking, so why not say that shit? If it's on your heart and it's on your mind, I'm gonna let that shit out.
Yeah, exactly.
They haven't yet. I'm waiting for somebody to pull the plug. I'm still here, so I'm gonna have fun.
Okay. What do you predict for 2026?
2026 is the year to get it out. Anything you need to say, anything you're working on, pump it out. The world needs you. They need us. We're doing it in 2026. Because the way the world is going and the ozone layer, we have to pump hard.
When you said, do you know you have 30 minutes, did you mean in terms of climate catastrophe?
I mean it in terms of that and in terms of 2026.
Got it. We're running out of time.
Yeah. We're running out of time.
All right, before you go, can you curse me out? Do I look like Luther Vandross?
Bitch, why the did you have me here? You played with the timing, you played with the date, because I had to go back and forth and back with you, and then your people. Like, Ziwe, like, girl, I know you are the only way to go, but at the same time, you played with my highway, too. You could have respected me a little bit more, you little hoe, with your little tight-ass waistline.
Oh, my gosh.
And then you got the nerve to wear diamonds on your wrists. Cuffed up, diamonds on your neck. Oh, she hot. She's a hot-ass bitch. Bitch.
You're sort of getting aroused as you...
I know.
It has to be personal. You've been nothing but pleasant in here.
Well, can I, read
me?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm gonna come back at you. Go ahead.
New York, you've said a lot of things that'll get both of us in trouble. I'm upset.
You are?
No. That's all I got. Oh, sorry. Excuse me. Bitch.
There we go. All right. Give me one more. Give me one more so I can feel it.
Bitch.
Oh.
Okay, don't make it kinky, please.
All right.
Yeah, that's where it was
going. Do you want
going.
your last words on the screen to be?
Do what you need to do today to make you feel full and to make you feel love. Love is where the core is. That's what I'm about.
Love? This has all been about love?
The whole entire time. Bitch, you didn't bring home my money. F them bitches up. I'm gonna f you up. F you. All my friends are ugly. When you see my face,
My friends are
and baby,
ugly.
you're gonna whimper before me.
Oh my gosh, that's alarming. One more question. How would you encourage the nation's youth?
You got it. You're smarter. You're more frisky. You're more wickeder and wiser. Use it for good purpose because you have the ability and the inability that I could never have because I was born in the 80s. Bitch, you're born in the here and now for a perfect purpose. I trust you when I can't read. I trust you when I can't stand up. I trust you when I'm on crutches. I don't want to go to a nursing home. Y'all are in that spot. Y'all the winning team.
I don't want to go to
Gen Z, or is
nursing
it
home.
even more than that now?
Gen Alpha?
Gen Alpha, I love you.
Gen Beta?
Gen Beta, put a good mixture in my tube when I'm in the nursing home. Just make me feel good before I have to go.
How do you think this went?
I feel like a 50 Cent album.
What does that mean?
Hated and loved it.
Oh.
The underdogs on top.
I'm a shy homie until my heart stops.
Hey, go ahead and envy me. Cause
I'm
I'm
not
rap MVP.
and I go
nowhere so you can get to know me, bitch.
Bitch.
Bitches are icons. Bitches are glory.
All right, you're gonna keep going.
Yeah. Bitches.
Yeah.
Give it up for New York!
I think this is how she is all the time. I think she is this way.
Way rougher shit.
What did you think I was gonna ask you?
Oh shit, that didn't make sense. I feel like you gave credit where credit is due.
Once again, New York is in the mother house.
You rolling? What the
Yes.
Oh,
you never
shit.
stop rolling.
Oh, okay. Girl, look at you.
My sweetheart.
You really don't work out. You look amazing.
Thank you. You look amazing.
But you're so dirty. I love that your hands are cold. You don't eat a lot.
Oh my
I
god.
don't
You
eat a
can't
lot.
say that anymore.
No. With me, you can say it. I think order. It's okay. I trust you. You can trust me.
We're still rolling.
Oh wait.
Wait.
Are we done rolling? Mike's cut or what? We sit back down or what? Oh wait, so you vamonos? Okay. That's the experience. Well, I won't keep the cup, but I'll take it halfway. Ziwe!
I love that. Okay, now let's get to the news. Let's get to the news with what all the bullshit that is happening. Now we got some laughs, some lighthearted content, lighthearted fare for the day. This is a video by Democracy Now! And they are talking about the Israeli intentions behind these strikes and bringing in the U.S. as well.
Democracy Now!, democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman with Juan Gonzalez. As we continue to look at the U.S. and Israeli war on Iran and Iran's retaliation, we're joined by Ofer Kasif. He's a member of the Israeli Knesset and the leftist Hadash Ta'al coalition. He's been a vocal critic of the Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu. In October, he waved a sign reading "Recognize Palestine" during President Trump's address to the Knesset. He's been repeatedly suspended from the Knesset for his outspoken criticism of Israel's war on Gaza. Joining us now from the Israeli city of Rehovot. Thank you so much for being with us.
I just read your chat. Please drop Barron out of a plane with no parachute like a missile. Oh my god. Does he just have to wear like a pointy hat so that he causes maximum damage? Yeah, exactly. He doesn't care about any of his kids. So, like, this is for the good of the country, though, right? Send Barron, and then we'll maybe start talking about a draft or whatever. Yeah, Barron needs to be on the front lines. Strap a warhead. Exactly. This kid really needs to be on the front lines, and it's been trending, and Trump apparently, from like insider people, he's very upset about it. And you know what? That's what happens when you start needless wars. People start saying that you need to send your kids. If you're going to start wars, send your kids. Or we do things the old-fashioned way as well of, if you're going to start a war, you should be at the front. You should be the one to lead the charge. Oh, I forgot he's got bone spurs. I forgot, comrade. I'm so sorry. Sergeant Bone Spurs. He has remained out of combat in the most dutiful and noble way possible. I apologize.
If you can respond to what's happening on the ground in Israel. I know that we could lose you at any point if you have to go.
Yeah, we need them to just fight. Overall, I like that idea. Let them fight it out.
Responding right now with it
we the world get to watch them go at it in that way, at least. I'm sure they've gone at it sexually, probably. Ew. Okay. They just need to be fighting. Except we would see that, like, Trump, he would end up just doing whatever Bibi wanted. He would be like, okay, what's the angle? What's the angle, Bibi? What's the angle for this? Because I will do whatever you say. That's what would be the case.
Very clear that Israel led this Israeli-U.S. attack.
That's my Trump impression,
Iran,
apparently.
with some support from Saudi Arabia, convincing Trump to do this preemptive attack.
Well, they call it a preemptive attack. Of course, it was premeditated, and the reason is not as they say. We all know that the real interests of the government of Israel and the government of the United States, like many others, is not really to save the Iranian people from the despotic, really suppressive regime.
I know.
Nor
who
to,
actually wants to be out?
Them for,
no one. No one does. And we are seeing this break up the MAGA coalition even more. And this is also something that is frightening, is that they're caring even less about public opinion, where they aren't afraid of the blowback. Essentially, what I've heard many people say, and I agree, is that Netanyahu knows that there is this finite amount of time before the midterms, where if Trump is not able to successfully federalize the elections, which is just voter suppression, or completely negate or cancel the elections altogether, then he is going to try to do everything that he can before then to accomplish his goals with Trump, before they lose this supermajority that they have on all of the branches of government. So we know who controls our government. It's Netanyahu, and he has for a while. It explains a lot. And we should also be considering all of the shit that he has on Trump because of Epstein. That, like, this is, like, the reason why we keep bringing it up is not because people, like, what some conservatives are thinking, like, Trump derangement syndrome. That's like, okay, whatever that means. Just a juvenile deflection from valid criticism. Okay, you got me. Whoa. That, like, everything goes back to these rich elites who are funding these wars, who are part of the industrial war complex, who are also, like, so the oligarchs involved are making so much money. So like the corruption, I'm sure, is just rampant and abounding. And we have yet to find out all of the ways that people are benefiting monetarily from this, like Trump's friends. So we'll see that with time. But it all goes back to these rich people who and political elites who are able to protect themselves, and that this has been in the works for a while, of like Netanyahu wanting to do this for 40 years. And now he feels like he has the president clearly to do it. So they are aware that people are not happy about this, representatives. Their phones have been tied up with like the times that I've called, and this doesn't happen very often when it comes to their phones. So we need to keep doing that, but we also need to be going to protests. We need to have a national strike. We need to have a global strike as well, in my opinion, so that we can actually like halt everything that's happening, so they understand where they get their power from. That it is only through our labor and their exploitation of us, not because of them being naturally better human beings, superior human beings that are very intelligent, that they just are callous and willing to exploit human beings and systems for their own enrichment. So this is what we also need to keep talking about.
Missile industry, the real interest is a political and economic interest, an imperialist interest as ever. And the other things that are presented as if they were the reasons are merely excuses. But the real interest of those governments, of those imperialists and their partners, is the real reason is simply to do whatever they can in order to achieve their own economic and political interests at the expense of the peoples, including the people of Iran and the people of Israel. Unfortunately, neither of them is really interested in our well-being or in the people of Iran or the American people in their own welfare and good. So, and that's the main issue. This is an imperialist aggression against the Iranian people. It's not against the regime. They want us to believe it's against the regime. It is against the people of Iran eventually.
Exactly.
And history proves that. And we, in the anti-occupation, anti-genocide, peace movement in Israel, we know that it's very difficult now at the moment to take to the streets and to demonstrate because of the missiles and also because of the limitations posed by the government under the guise of emergency situation. But we know what is at stake. We know that the real interest of the governments are against the interest of the peoples, and we do whatever we can in order to protest and to stop this bloodshed.
I wanted to ask you, in terms of the level of response and resistance and counterattack by Iran on Israel, what has been the effect on the population? Did the government and the people expect this kind of response? And interestingly, here in the United States, we're not seeing in the American media many images of what damage is being caused within Israel of these attacks by Iran.
To make it not look like they're susceptible.
We don't know if what the media in Israel shows is accurate, and if it is indeed the full scale. We obviously don't want anyone to get harmed, neither in Israel nor in Palestine or in Iran or anywhere else. That's the reason we oppose this and oppose this war and aggression from the very beginning. But as I said, the real way to stop it is a diplomatic and political one, not a military one. And unfortunately, at the moment, the majority within the Israeli public support the government and support the aggression against Iran. It is quite, systematic. It always happened like that in the past. it happened when Israel launched the genocidal aggression against Gaza after the terrible massacre of 7 October. It happened many times vis-a-vis Lebanon, Syria, and other places. In the beginning, we were almost the only ones. We, I mean the Democratic Front for Peace and Equality, the Communist Party,
I'm continuing
and
to
some
work
other
on this bracelet. Just as a little
anti-occupation and
update.
anti-war activists. We were quite isolated and marginalized in most events of war and aggression. But after a while, more and more people within the Israeli society began to understand that they went astray after the lies of the government, whether it was a Netanyahu's government or another government, and began to protest against the war or the genocide or whatever. So I guess that will happen again now. At the moment, we are a minority, not as tiny as we were before, because more and more people understand that this fascist government led by the criminal Netanyahu, who is, as we all know, suspected and stand trial in charges of and is accused in bribery and corruption, etc., etc. So many people, more than before, understand that everything that this government has been doing, especially Netanyahu,
It's
are
helpful for me to
by,
do stuff with my hands.
not by the interest of the people, but by the interest of the government per se. And because of
Hearing
that,
about
although
this
we are
shit,
still a minority,
feel
and
like I
alas,
actually am
all
creating
the
something
parliamentary
amidst all
opposition
the
apart
destruction.
from us is in support of Netanyahu's aggression and Trump's aggression. Still, you can see that more people among the so-called common people are against it, still a minority. But if it continues, if this aggression continues, I'm sure that sooner or later we'll see a majority standing against it. I just hope that we won't get there, because the bloodshed until then is going to be much wider everywhere, in Israel, in Iran, in Lebanon, and in Palestine. And obviously we don't want that to happen.
And what about that impact in Palestine? You said that the war on Iran would be used to justify increased oppression against the Palestinians?
Absolutely, we can already see that. You know, under this government, it didn't begin with this government.
Exactly.
The occupation of the West Bank, East Jerusalem, and Gaza Strip, of
exploiting
course, is almost 60
tragedy
years old. But
and
the
death
persecution
for more
and
death.
Discrimination against the Palestinian national minority within Israel exists since 1948, since the establishment of the State of Israel and the Nakba. So, but we can see that under this government in general, since 7 October in particular, and in the last few days even more, the deadly persecution of the Palestinians is on a rise. We can see that there is a kind of a division of labor. You could see that while the Israeli occupation forces continue in bombing and attacking Palestinians in Gaza, and of course the aggression against Iran and Lebanon still goes on.
You got a craft cam.
You could
I was
also
literally
see that
just thinking about that. I've had
fascist,
plans for it.
settlers, the
I need to
terrorist
set up a
settlers
scene,
in the West Bank,
but I keep putting it
do
off.
whatever they
Maybe I'll do
like
that
under
sooner
the auspices
because
and even
I keep
collaboration
crafting
of the
more
occupation
often.
forces,
And
the encouragement,
it'll be worth my
finance,
time
and
more.
support of the
It's a good
government.
idea.
But the pioneer, as it were, of the pogroms and terrorist attacks, including murders of innocent Palestinians in the West Bank, is mainly executed by the settlers. And under the smokescreen of the war with Iran, you can see that it is much more easier on those criminals to pursue with those crimes, and nothing has been done. Look, I personally have been sending letters since March 23. It's exactly 3 years since I first sent a letter to the defense minister, it was then Gallant and later on Katz, and to the attorney general, demanding them to investigate, arrest, and stop those terrorists settlers and their supporters in the West Bank, and for 3 years nothing has been done. So it's not a coincidence that it not only goes on, but it is worsening, because once they know they are not punished, not even investigated, why should they continue with their crimes and even go further? So if they began by igniting fire into fields and uprooting trees, now they are igniting fire and shooting individual people, including, by the way, international and Israeli activists, not only Palestinians. So when under the smoke screen of the war, as I said, it's getting easier on them, unfortunately, and I put a lot of the blame on the international community. I also sent a few letters to The Hague, to the European Union, to some senators in the United States and some other institutions in the United Nations, etc. By the way, part of my suspension from the Knesset was because I sent those letters, but I had no other choice. That was a last resort, because as the Israeli institutes, those who are in charge and are responsible for the well-being of the occupied as well, of the Palestinians, as long as they don't do anything and even allow those crimes to go on, I had no other choice but to appeal to international forces, but nothing has been done.
Ofer Kassif, I want to thank you for being with us, member of the Israeli Knesset and the leftist Hadash Tal coalition, speaking to us from Rehovot in Israel. Thanks for watching Democracy Now! On YouTube. Subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to make sure you never miss a video. And for more of our audience...
Okay, so speaking of sending Barron, let's watch this.
This is a Fox News fake news alert! The South Park season may be long over, but the show continues to be a gift that keeps on giving. Because today, draft-dodging Donald Trump's illegal war with Iran on behalf of Israel without congressional approval or the support of the vast majority of Americans ended up backfiring brutally on both him and now his family.
These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge...
Send Barron! And that is in large part thanks to a notorious former South Park writer who sparked a viral firestorm for Cadet Bonespur's son, Barron, with a brutal new parody website that I'd like to share with y'all now. Before we break it all down and show how this goes much further than simply the internet wanting to ship Barron off to World War III, and is actually so much worse with insiders and potential...
Yeah, people are also talking about having Satan Yahoo and have his son be sent off as well. I think that's a splendid idea. Put them on the front lines and see what happens.
Even Trump's own family profiteering off of inside knowledge about these strikes. Please be sure to like and subscribe if you agree that Trump's children should be the first shipped off to World War III. And let's start with some quick context.
It won't be the billionaire kids of Donald Trump and his buddies that die. It's going to be the children of middle class and poor families all across this country who are going to die for a war of choice, a war of vanity and illegal war.
So far, 3
he
U.S. service
entered
members
college
were killed
like
and
a
5
year
others
ago.
were seriously wounded
So
yesterday
he's like
on
19
Sunday
or
as
20.
Operation Epic Fury, the U.S.-Israeli assault on
Barron
Iran that
Trump.
launched Saturday, moved into its second day. The latest bombing campaign on a foreign country by the self-styled peace president has seen Trump blasted for his seeming indifference toward U.S. soldiers.
If I try
who have been
searching
killed
Barron
in the
Trump, it
process.
keeps
Even as we continue the righteous mission for which they gave their
automatically going to
We pray
this
for
site
the
that he's
full
talking about because I was
recovery of the
looking it up
wounded and
before.
send our
He's
immense
19.
love and
Yep,
eternal
he's
gratitude
perfect.
to the families of
Perfect.
the fallen.
Send him.
And sadly,
It's the
there will
perfect
likely be
age.
more.
Ripe and ready.
That's crazy. He's literally saying, "You're fucking cannon fodder." Oh my God, there has to be a military mutiny at some point, right? Like people have to be like, "What the fuck are we doing?"
Yeah, Trump being like, oh, some of you will die. That's like going around as well. The clip of Lord Farquaad that's like, and that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. It's like, yeah, we're living in the worst timeline.
These intolerable threats will not continue any longer. I once again urge...
Send Barron! Send Lindsey Graham! Send his fucking children!
Yes.
How about that?
And as you saw there, the hashtag #SendBarron was trending on Twitter, of all places.
Yeah, on
prompting
Twitter.
a wave of Americans to ask a pointed question. If this is such a noble war, why isn't the president's youngest son joining in? Well, into that gap stepped Toby Morton, a comedian and former writer on South Park, who Variety Notes runs roughly 50 political parody sites, as we've covered on the channel before, and has previously snagged the domains including those of the Trump Kennedy Center, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Moms for Liberty. But his latest creation, DraftBarronTrump.com, went up as U.S. fatalities began to be announced. Here it is in all of its glory, DraftBarronTrump.com. America is strong because its leaders are strong. President Trump proves that every day. Naturally, his son Barron is more than ready to defend the country his father so boldly commands. Service is honor, strength is inherited. Dog bless Barron. And here we have some fitting pictures of the draft-dodging cadet Bone Spurs himself with his son Barron, who is of ripe age were people to be drafted in Donald Trump's war. Then we move down to the About Us, where we have pictures of Donald Trump sleeping at the helm. And then I'll read the About Us here. I'll try and zoom in a little bit. It says, this
No,
site is
it's his
dedicated to
son.
honoring the strongest
This is
and
how
bravest
old this
voices in war.
motherfucker is and
When
how many
power is
wives
projected
he's
abroad,
had.
it is only right that strength exists at home. If you're looking for proven genes, inherited
it's his son.
courage, and unquestionable resolve, look no further than the Trump family.
You know.
Leadership starts somewhere. Then you have this incredible section of testimonials, one from Donald J. Trump himself that says, people come up to me with tears in their eyes and they say, sir, you're the strongest. Send Barron off to war. I've always been strong, very strong, stronger than anyone expected. Some say the strongest ever, and strength matters, believe me. We then have Barron's older half-brother, Donald Trump Jr., being attributed this quote, this moment is really about Barron, okay? Always has been. He represents strength, courage, and service. I'll be honoring that sacrifice in my own way, mainly by talking about it from a safe distance. And what would the Trump family testimonial page be without one from Eric that says, people always say I'm stupid, which is totally unfair because I understand a lot about pancakes. Pancakes are complex. You've got batter, heat, timing. If you rush it, you ruin everything. I think about pancakes a lot, mostly pancakes. And the internet,
amazing.
even on the far right leaning app Twitter, was quick to point out the hypocrisy of this with some extravagant memes of Barron in army fatigues getting ready to go to war. I got bone spurs just like my daddy. Imagine telling the world that you're liberating the women of Iran and one of the first things you do is blow up a school full of girls. Tons and tons of memes that I will link to in the description down below because even that is just the tip of the iceberg of the Trump family hypocrisy. You're likely already familiar with prediction marketing apps, something that South Park actually brilliantly made fun of in the past.
Yeah, is this the strategic advisor for predictive markets?
Yes, it is.
Well, there's a bet on one of your apps that's incredibly insensitive, and it needs to be taken down, now!
Oh, all our bets are actually regulated by the CFTC. You need to talk to them.
What's the CFTC?
It's the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. It's the federal government. They have to approve all bets and deal with discrepancies.
Fine, I'll call
Discrepancies.
the CFTC then. So stupid. Commodity Futures Trading Commission. Here we go.
Hello?
These include sites like Polymarket and Kalshi, the latter of which Donald Trump Jr. is actually a strategic advisor of. And as South Park showed in that brilliant episode, these apps leave a lot of room for murky morality. Take, for instance, the person whose name is MAGA My Man, who turned $87,000 into over $500,000 overnight by betting on the US strikes on Iran before the news was broken to the public.
The exact timing of the US and Israeli strikes on Iran were supposedly a closely held secret, with even allies kept in the dark. But 6 online punters made $1.4 million correctly betting on exactly when the bombs would fall. And it's raised concerns
I wonder who that could
insiders
be.
are profiting from war. According to analytics firm Bubble Maps, the 6 accounts were all created on Polymarket in February, with some of the bets made just hours before the strikes occurred. Another trader who operates under the name MAGA My Man made hundreds of thousands alone, placing bets on the strikes and that Iran's supreme leader would be removed from power, again just before he was killed. Polymarket is an online prediction market which allows people to bet against
Insider
each
war on
other
trading is
on a range of
crazy. Yeah.
topics.
That's
The
like
ethics of
how
betting on war
much more
aside,
callous
it's not
and
the first
cynical
time
can we be?
questions have been
You know?
raised. In January, an anonymous trader made
Like they're already
$436,000
regulating the markets. Now they also get to
betting
benefit
that
from
Venezuela's President Nicolas
this insider
Maduro would be out
knowledge.
of power by the end of that month. A few hours later, the announcement was made by Donald Trump. This latest round of winners
Everything
has
is
incensed some
gambling.
US lawmakers. Chris Murphy, a Democrat from Connecticut, tweeted, "It's insane that this is legal. People around Trump are profiting off war and death. I'm introducing legislation ASAP to ban this."
And while that person is still anonymous,
I'm
and there
glad
is no
Chris Murphy's
direct
doing
evidence
that.
yet linking Donald Trump
But
Jr.
still,
or
people have
the
already
Trump family writ
made the
large to
money.
those specific insider trading instances that these apps lend themselves to, it is increasingly striking that we see these things happen more and more frequently now. With Venezuela, people bet on that and made tons of money. Now with Iran. And we already saw in the past with Marjorie Taylor Greene or Donald Trump himself when he announced now would be a good time to sell before crashing the
I
stock
feel
market
negative
with his
guilt
tariff
clowning on
announcement.
Barron because
But
they
that
don't
is what I
see
wanna
people
harp
like
on
us
here
as
to
human.
end this
Exactly.
video.
Because
Even if
he's never
somehow,
going to
after
go.
everything that has
That's
happened,
why
the
it's
Epstein,
funny.
the economy,
Because
the
it's
broken
never going to
promises,
happen.
The essay, the racism.
So
the
he's not in any
all of
danger.
Donald Trump's horrible humanity. You still somehow find your pea-brain self willing to support this man. Fine. Take that and die on that hill. However, do not think for a second that this war is for anybody other than the billionaires and the wealthy elite of the world that are the only ones who will not only benefit from this, but come out with both themselves and their families unscathed. Senator Murphy put this perfectly in this clip here, and I hope at the very least what we get out of all of this is a little fucking bit of class consciousness.
It's no secret that this administration has no plan for the chaos that is unfolding right now in the Middle East. Those scenes that you showed at the beginning of the program are frightening. Violence is not contained just to the Middle East. It's spilling over into Pakistan and other parts of the world. And it's no secret that our allies in the region, with the exception of the right-wing government in Israel, had begged us not to take this action because they knew that the spillover, which is now looking like regional conflict, was the likely outcome. So again, what are we getting out of this? We're not getting regime change to a democracy. We're not going to eliminate their nuclear program. We are going to have regional war breaking out. It won't be the billionaire kids of Donald Trump and his buddies that...
Yeah, that's also how you know that it is being done at the behest of Israel as well, is that Israel also killed people that they thought could be successors to the leader. And that they're like, oh, now they're dead. They're intentionally wanting to just completely sow chaos in Iran, and they're hoping that it will make the regime fall. They aren't interested in a regime change. They're interested in a regime, like, disassembling. And doing this, of course, in a very violent manner with U.S. funding and weapons. So that's what's happening. And as well, the factor is that we have to consider that he was just saying is how all of these oligarchs are controlling what's happening, who control the markets, how they're cozying up to everybody in the administration, and how we also see with the Epstein files that many of, like Peter Thiel and Epstein, were talking about this kind of shit years ago, that they were wanting to disrupt the world order because they weren't profiting enough.
die. It's going to be the children of middle class and poor families all across this country who are going to die for a war of choice, a war of vanity, an illegal war.
Thank you for watching, folks. Be sure to like, subscribe, join the Really American Resistance, and help us get this video out there so that we can put it in front of Donald Trump's face how much people disagree with this war, and how the vast majority of Americans would rather see the children of billionaires out there on those battlefields than any of our country's current military, the sons and daughters of everyday, hardworking American that just wants some goddamn peace. For Really American and U.S. Democratic Socialists, I'm Kenny Hess. I'll see you guys in the next one.
Okay. So, that is what's happening. I think I may, just to break this up, the heavy shit, I may play this word game. Let's see. Is this gonna work? So I think I have to type it in the chat, is what it's saying. Oh. Interesting. Polly? Wop. Oh, they don't have 3-letter words. Whoops. Mopey. Oh, thank you, Tan. Thank you. I don't know what this is. Whoops. Mole. And then do you win? So this is my first time playing this. Do you only win if you get the large word? Oh my god. Thank you. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Me just like not clicking the right scene. Thank you for that. Polina. Wait, what? Oh, that's just an ad. Okay. Restarting. Healthy. Health. Oh, good one. Heal. Oops. It's not counting mine. Heat. Halt. It's not going to count heat as a word. They. Tail. Why would it not count heat? Oh. There you go. What's going on with me then? Okay, I did that before. Maybe I was doing too many at the same time. There's a buffer, maybe. Heal? Okay, yeah. I need to not be so eager. That's fun. That's fun that people can contribute. All right. Let's do it again. Exchange. Change. Cane. Whoa. Hexane. That's a crazy word. Cage. Do we have to wait? Okay. Third time's a charm. Dang. Jean, that's a good one. Oh, we reached the goal. Each. Okay. Yeah, maybe I need to just like slow down. We did it! Chalice. Leech, that's a good one. Ice? No? Yes. Why is it not counting some of these? Like cash was a really good word. Okay, I can't send the same message. Oh, fair. Sorry about that. I was like wanting to make sure your word got counted. Do you have this rigged on purpose? As I'm like, as it's also being delayed on my end too. Ale. Ooh. Chili? No, that's a proper noun. Okay. Good game. Shall we continue? That's a fun one. I need to figure out the... Where was I? Which screen was I on? Oh, here we go. I need to figure out the timing of that. I'll play around with it on my own too. Okay. So this is the hearing that happened with Kristi Noem today, and here are some highlights. True. If you want to, I'd be happy to add you as a mod. I'll get on that. Okay, cool. Thank you. Hold on a moment. Let's see. Add new. Underscore. And there you are. Woohoo! Secret ingredient. Dawa dawa, also known as fermented locust bean. What? What does that mean? Oh, my stir fry. I didn't see that before. Yes, stir fry is so good. That sounds amazing. All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. All right. It's like a pungent umami ingredient from Western Africa. I love that. Where do you normally purchase it? And while you're responding, I'm going to go ahead and play this. This is on what has been happening with ICE, which also has not been getting quite as much coverage lately. So I wanted to play this.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Secretary Noem, as Secretary of
My
Homeland
local
Security,
Ghanaian
you
grocery.
oversaw
That's
Operation
cool.
Metro Search. Is that correct?
Yes, as Secretary, I oversee ICE and CBP and HSI officers that were there doing their work.
3,000 ICE agents, border control to Minnesota, outnumbering our 10 Metro Police departments, outnumbering by 3 to 1 the number of sworn police officers in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Is that correct?
Yeah. We were working to do targeted operations against criminal illegal aliens, and we needed to do that in a safe manner to make sure that we could ensure the safety of our law enforcement officers.
Two of my constituents, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, were killed. They should be alive today. In fact, in 1 month in the city of Minneapolis, when you look at the 3
She's going to just keep trying to filibuster and fill in the time so she doesn't have to answer questions.
Committed by federal agents. Are you aware of that?
Yes, I am.
So your agents, not only their actions resulted in the deaths of 2 innocent American citizens, but they repeatedly violated my constituents' First Amendment rights to assemble You say you believe in the Second Amendment right to bear arms, but Alex Preddy was criticized repeatedly by officials in the administration for having a lawful permit to carry and having a gun. Your agents violated the Fourth Amendment rights of my constituents by ramming through doors of innocent people's homes, innocent citizens' home, without any kind of a warrant, and violated the Fifth Amendment right to due process. So as I've shared with my colleagues, if you believe in federalism, in freedom, and in liberty, you should be horrified by what the Department of Homeland Security did in Minnesota. So my first question is, having spoken to Mr. Homan, what is the exact number of DHS agents still in Minnesota?
Well, I believe that there is still close to 650 there, counting the investigators that are there, working to get to the bottom of the unprecedented fraud that has been found in the Medicaid
Was
funding.
five-year-old Liam involved in that fraud? As you know, I
Mhm.
am all in on
Exactly.
prosecuting fraud. I put in place the U.S. attorney.
Yeah, the really thin argument that they are giving is like, oh, we have to be there because of fraud. What? That doesn't make any sense.
Who exposed the fraud under the Biden administration and brought the bulk of the prosecutions, and also recommended to Mr. Blanche that Joe Thompson be the acting U.S. attorney who led those prosecutions and now has left the office because the Department of Justice asked him and many others to investigate Renee Good's wife instead of doing their jobs doing fraud. So what I want to know is, when are you going to get down to the original footprint as promised to us?
We're continuing to work at that, although those investigators will continue to stay there to get to the bottom of that fraud, to make sure that those vulnerable people that rely on those programs actually get services from those federal dollars that are spent, that it's not stolen by criminals and used by individuals to enrich themselves and send it out of the country.
Secretary.
This-
Chung-Li
she's
Kao.
evil.
Are you
She's
aware
evil.
that agents bashed in the door of a U.S. citizen among
She
elders
does
with no
not-
criminal record?
I can't speak to the specifics of that
Did you
case.
see the photos
They
of
are
that?
all such liars and criminals in the way that, like, the actual meaning of it, of having no regard for the law, and that they are hurting people, violating people's rights, and all of the people in this administration, the like smarminess that they show, and how there's this like self-satisfied air where they just lie under oath as if it's not a big deal. And this is important to have on the record so that we can try these people and prosecute them.
And being dragged out of his house in Crocs and in his underwear?
Yes, I did.
Do you believe that he was involved in fraud?
I do not know where that status of that investigation is.
Are you aware that he is a son of a beloved nurse that treated our soldiers in Vietnam?
I believe that we have laws in this country that need to be enforced and need to be applied
Your
equally to
agents,
everyone.
speaking of enforcing the laws and following the laws, did they have a judicial warrant when they rammed through an American citizen's door?
Our law enforcement officers follow the same protocols and procedures that all law enforcement do.
Are
as
you
to how
aware
they
that he
move
tried
forward.
to show his identification to show that he was American citizen and they didn't want to see it?
Again, these officers conduct themselves in processes. If something was done inaccurately, then certainly we will make sure that we correct it and rectify it in the future.
Are you aware that the person they
Inaccurately,
were
instead
looking
of
for was-
saying like, oh, this is violating human dignity and rights, like, oh, it's yeah,
in prison? and had been
inaccurate.
in prison for years?
It's so ridiculous.
His
Yes, I
name is
am.
Lou
That's a
Mont.
target. Yes, we do targeted operations going after and
Do
looking
you
for.
agree that it is unacceptable for your agents to ram into someone's door and drag someone out in their underwear and below zero temperatures when they have the wrong guy?
Our officers conduct targeted operations and utilize the law processes that are given to them and the
answer
tools.
that you think that's wrong.
They needed to identify that individual, and
They
that
couldn't
individual.
identify him by looking at his identification. Instead, they had to drag him out, throw him in a car, and drive him around for an hour. How about pulling off off-duty police officers, Madam Secretary, every single one of whom made clear who they were? They were people of color, off-duty police officers. In Brooklyn Park, Minnesota, The chief described how one off-duty officer, someone of color, a U.S. citizen, was stopped and confronted by ICE agents with their guns drawn, demanding her proof of citizenship. As Chief Bruley said, I wish I could tell you that this was an isolated incident, but other chiefs said it had happened to their own officers. Why were these officers stopped?
We have thousands of law enforcement operations that we do every single day.
Do you think they were stopped because they were people of color? Were they racially
and drug
profiled?
traffickers
Ms.
off
Noem.
our streets. When I look at these American families that have been victimized by
Yeah,
criminals
send
that we have
Kristi.
removed from cities and from communities, I'm grateful for the work that our ICE officers do. And by your only
Are
focusing,
you defending stopping
I
off
would
duty?
like
Yeah, she is defending stopping off-duty officers by profiling people. And she is going to just keep talking and talking and talking to try to fill up time without answering the question. So, like, it's important that these senators keep
to hear you
pushing.
talk about some of the operations that we've
dragging a
done to
Hmong
bring
elder
people
out of
to
his
justice.
home?
When you only talk about these situations like this that we are conducting, and you don't talk about the good work that
Don't
they
let
do
her
to
talk
protect people
about
from
it.
being
Don't let her
victimized by
continue, Amy
people that are in this
Klobuchar.
country that want to conduct violent crimes
Stop.
against them or take advantage of them. The laws need
Stop.
to apply to
Reclaim
everyone,
your
and we're out there
fucking
enforcing the
time.
law.
I'm a former prosecutor,
Context is
Ms. Noem, and
incredibly
I
important
have always
in every
worked with our
situation.
police well, but that's not what was going. These
You
ICE
don't
agents
respond
were
to
not
her.
following police procedures. After the killings of Renee Good and Alex Preddy, when I spoke to Alex's parents, they told me that you calling him a domestic terrorist, this was directly from them, the day after he was killed. A nurse in our VA, Alex, one of the most hurtful things they could ever imagine was said by you about their son. Do you have anything you want to say to Alex Preddy's parents?
We were relying in the hours after that incident that was so horrific on information we were getting from the
I
ground from
just
our
asked
agents.
if you had
But I
anything
would
you
say
wanted to say to the
but I would
parents
say
or to the family
that's
of
what I'm
Renee
doing
Good
right
after
now, is
you
that
called
I
them domestic
can't
terrorists.
even imagine what they have gone through in the loss of their son and the loss of their family members.
But
It's
how about
absolutely
specifically
tragic.
calling
Yeah,
them
they don't.
domestic
She doesn't
terrorists
care.
without any evidence of that?
Sir, ma'am, I did not
Sir.
call him a domestic terrorist. I said it appeared to be an incident of.
So,
I think the parents saw it for what it was. After the killings, the federal government refused to cooperate with state law enforcement. Agents blocked Minnesota investigators from accessing the scene. I know because I got directly calls from the mayor. I tried to call the DOJ. I tried to do everything
we
I
need
could
to have
because they were
public
very
trials.
worried about
And
what was going to happen
in my
immediately,
opinion,
especially
people like
after Alex
Kristi
Preddy's death.
Noem, Stephen Miller.
Do you think
these-
that blocking local law enforcement from the scene of a shooting makes people safer? Yes or no?
They
Actually,
can't be
our
reformed.
HSI, law enforcement
Let's put it that
officers
way.
risk their lives on that scene, preserving evidence and keeping the violent rioters away from the evidence so it
What
could be
life was
preserved
lost
for the
at that
investigation.
scene, Secretary Noem?
Huh? Yes, I
It was
understand that.
Alex Preddy's life
And
that was
after it
lost.
became
I
very
believe it is in the interest of justice to have a full and transparent investigation.
is the investigations being led by FBI and internal investigations as well into this incident.
Will you commit to reversing the decision to cooperate with the Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension, an agency of seasoned professionals that the agents worked with directly, the agents, FBI agents worked with directly to investigate after the shooting assassination of Speaker Hortman, after the killing of those two little kids in that church with the bullets going through those stained glass windows? In both incidents, our federal and local law enforcement worked together and are working together in those investigations. But they have been blocked, the locals have, from being part of this. Why is that, Ms. Noem?
The FBI is leading this investigation, and I would leave that question for them to answer.
Thank you.
Before Senator Blackburn, without objection, I'll introduce into the record unaccompanied children case study
Amy
that the Trump
Klobuchar seemed
services provided to my office.
agitated. I
These
mean, obviously she
records
probably has a lot of
describe
emotion
horrible
going on.
cases
Maybe
in
was
which
like
children
nervous,
were
but
forced
also
to
like
work to pay
she's the
smuggling
leader
fees,
of Minnesota, and they're
physical
counting on her to
assault
be
by
holding
sponsors
Kristi Noem
and
accountable.
denied
She needs to, you can't let up with these people. You can't show them any sort of courtesy because they're not engaging in good faith.
Policies to put children in harm's way. I appreciate the cooperation of the Trump administration. Is there any objection?
Mr. Chairman, I do not object, but I would like to have unanimous consent to enter into the record the details of the 3 instances where the Secretary referred to the victims that we've discussed and as engaged in acts of domestic terrorism. We have the exact statement, the exact date and time that you made those statements. I'd ask unanimous consent to put those in the record.
Good.
On both
To have it on the
requests,
record.
Any objection? No objection heard. Senator Blackburn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Madam Secretary, thank you.
Just completely
for being here today.
contradicting
And
what she was just saying.
Thank you so much for the work that DHS and FEMA have done in Tennessee with the recent ice storm, but also previously with Hurricane Helene, and the responsiveness we have gotten from FEMA, the difference from the previous administration and your administration has been noted by people in Tennessee, and I just want to express
or they're
my
just
gratitude
prioritizing their
to those
friends.
employees that are working so hard. So we truly are grateful for that.
Kissing the
I
ring,
want to,
kissing the orange ass by
go
doing
back to
this.
something Senator Durbin said in his opening statement. He referred to the Biden policy, immigration policy, is sensible and humane. And in his comments, he said there was a sensible and humane way to deal with immigration, but he felt like Biden's policy was sensible and humane, and what you all are doing is not sensible and humane. And this struck me because the Biden administration allowed hundreds of thousands of those illegally entering the country. We have seen hundreds of thousands.
Because all of the illegals, how could that be sensible? I'm Mrs. Blackburn and I don't give a shit about my actual constituents.
Walk across our border and come into this country.
To be clear, this is Nazi rhetoric. Like, just to call this out, this is fascist Nazi rhetoric, the otherizing of people, especially people of color, scapegoating, xenophobia to try to make it so that people have an enemy. This is just continuing with that. And we have to look at this moment for what it was, that like we are here because we have complicity with people like this, these overtly white supremacist Christian nationalists. And we have people who are part of the Democratic establishment in the Democratic Party who have also contributed to this because they have not been standing up for actual reform that is humane.
Is nothing sensible and humane to these wonderful families who are grieving the loss of loved ones, that somebody illegally came in the country and took the life of their loved ones. So
not to mention all of the people who are losing loved ones because of what ICE is doing.
And I want to provide you the opportunity to respond to what Senator Durbin supported the Biden immigration policy. We had hours and hours of hearings dealing with such. He supported the Biden DHS. But to me, there is nothing sensible and humane about allowing millions of people to violate the rule of law in the United States. And I yield to you for a response.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
Thank you, Senator.
Strong words. What an eloquent speaker. What really gets the people
The
going.
consequences of illegal immigration. Over 30% of the young girls that crossed that border during that invasion were raped and brutally harmed by people along the way.
That's
There's
just a
nobody
made
that
up
crossed that
statistic.
border, came in from Mexico, that didn't have to pay a cartel member to get into this country. Those cartels have been enriched and made sophisticated and professionalized by the money that Joe
I don't want to
Biden
keep listening to her.
known terrorists that are here in this country. And I've heard from Tennesseans all weekend long about their concerns. The attack in Austin was really quite unsettling. And the awareness that there are these terrorists that are among the citizens here in our country. So would you lay out, not only for this committee, but for the American people?
I don't think so. That terrorist, that shooting that happened in Austin with that man who was wearing, like, what was it, Property of Allah shirt. I wouldn't be surprised if this person was like paid off by by this regime in order to have more justification for the Iran war, as well as to continue support for the genocide that is happening against Palestinians.
What steps are you and your
But of
team
course they're
taking
using this.
right now to make certain that we apprehend, detain, and prosecute these terrorists before they have the ability to conduct any act of evil?
Well, Senator, when you let millions of people into this country unvetted, you truly don't know how many dangers.
Back during the summer, and we're so grateful for President Trump and
I'm
the
sure you
attention that
are.
he put on some of these issues of protecting the American people and making that the priority.
So just continuing with her. I don't want to watch her anymore. Just more slop.
All in my opening statement. What I said, and I still believe.
He said, I didn't mention the Biden administration at all during my opening statement, correcting the record because the past senator who was lying is just talking out of her ass.
Is that if we work together in a positive, good faith, bipartisan effort, we can come up with a sensible, humane immigration law for America. You've heard the witness say repeatedly, we write the laws. She's correct. We need to accept the responsibility of writing a law that is sensible for this country. What I think is happening now in this administration is neither sensible nor humane. I yield.
Senator Coons.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, Madam Secretary. Thank you for appearing before us. It is your duty and mine, all of ours here, to protect our American homeland and our citizens, but to do so in a way that is legal, that is humane, that is effective, and principally constitutional. So let's get to that. But foundational to the administration's entire immigration agenda and to everything we've seen in the streets of Minneapolis and other cities across our country is your pursuit of higher and higher numbers for deportation, the mass deportations that Stephen Miller designed and President Trump has ordered you to implement. It's why we have roving patrols, racially profiling whomever they see and creating a show me your papers state.
Yep.
It's why you go into
Good.
sensitive locations,
I'm glad that's on the
churches
record.
and hospitals and schools. It's why you have been arresting children, the elderly, refugees, the disabled, including a resident in my own state suffering from severe developmental disabilities. When there's pressure on you to hit high numbers, you don't have the time to focus on targeted effects to find violent criminals on the run. It's easier to simply round up people here breaking no laws and contributing to our communities. It's why you deny people due process and rush them out of the country. And it's why you've put poorly trained ICE recruits on our streets, engaging in reckless and dangerous tactics. Does DHS, Madam Secretary, operate on any quotas or numerical targets for immigration arrests every day?
No, Senator, we do not. We do targeted law enforcement operations going after those worst of the worst criminals that are here
I would
illegally.
certainly prefer it if you did targeted operations against the worst of the worst. But just last year, Stephen Miller, who's the president's Homeland Security Advisor and Deputy Chief of Staff, went on Fox News and said, we're setting a goal, a minimum of 3,000 arrests for ICE every day. And President Trump is
So
going to
she's lying
keep
under
pushing
oath.
to get that number higher and
This
higher.
is important
He's
to
the
have
Deputy Chief of
evidence of.
Staff and Homeland Security Advisor, and he oversees immigration policy for the president. What's your response to his public quote?
Sir, there is no quotas at the Department of Homeland Security. When we do law enforcement operations, we do them on targeted enforcement, getting public safety threats off of our streets and out of our communities to protect the American people.
Thank you. And you agree that setting quotas would actually put improper pressure on law enforcement to conduct themselves in ways that might not be in the best interest of their safety or the public.
Senator, we don't have any quotas on our law enforcement
Have you
operations
ever
at the
issued
department.
any guidance rejecting the use of numerical targets or quotas?
I usually put out notices on things that are impacting our operations. There's been no discussion or requirement on numerical quota targets. Therefore, there would be no need to reject them in a memo unless I feared that they were being implemented, which
Ma'am,
they're
here's
not.
why I think there might be real value in your putting out a memo saying, I reject any quotas. It's not just what Stephen
saying
Miller
like,
said last
oh,
May.
so if we are getting evidence that you are trying to meet these quotas and they're harming people because this is like a direct violation of constitutional rights, like the intention behind all of this, because they also have contracted with the prison, private for-profit prison complex as well, in order to have all of these quotas, so that they're trying to fulfill these contracts, so that they're filling beds, that like, and for people to build more of these concentration camps, that like that's also part of the reasoning behind it.
Reportedly, and I have many press accounts of this I can submit for the record, making conference calls, berating agency officials, threatening to fire them, threatening to fire the leadership of field offices that are in the bottom 10% of arrest numbers. I would suggest that it's this constant drive for higher numbers that has been behind a lot of what we've been seeing in terms of the failure to actually focus on the worst of the worst and targeted enforcement, and to instead do things like roving patrols and profiling. Let's move on. Steve Bannon, long an advisor to the president, one of his earliest public supporters, recently
Also
said
in the Epstein files,
ICE should be deployed at the polls in the next election. Will you rule out the deployment of ICE or CBP to polling places this November?
There are no plans to have ICE officers at our polling locations. And
I'm glad to hear that, but would you rule it out? Would you say it will not happen?
do you plan on illegal aliens voting in our elections, Senator?
I do not. In
okay,
fact,
then
the
there should
Heritage
be no need to,
Foundation,
unless you plan on illegal
Madam
aliens
Secretary,
voting.
the Heritage Foundation recently concluded that
Yeah,
over a
she's trying to
20-year
be
period
slippery with the
where they
question.
reviewed hundreds of millions, billions of voting cases, they found only a small handful of actual cases of illegals voting. So I'm concerned by your rebuttal, which suggests you may be unfamiliar with 18 U.S.C. Section 592. Are you familiar with this federal statute that relates to sending armed men to polling places?
There are no plans to send any of our law enforcement officers to
But
polling
Madam Secretary,
locations.
you're clear it would
there
be
have
a
been
federal
illegal
That's not what
aliens.
he asked.
There are illegal aliens that have voted, and it's been proven in the past in certain
Stop.
cases in certain states. We provide
Stop
a
letting
program
her
to states. I
talk.
think we have 27 different states that utilize
Stop
our
letting
state
her
program
talk.
now
Interrupt
to
her.
verify individuals
Interrupt
that are
her.
eligible to vote in their elections. And as states run their election systems, we encourage them to use that to make sure they maintain their election
Because
integrity.
she's-
Madam Secretary, can you understand
you caught
how when
her
Steve
in
Bannon
not
says
knowing
publicly,
something.
we should
You
have
were
ICE at
on
the polls, and
a
you
good
say there
roll.
are no plans? That's not enough to rule out the possibility of a violation of this long-standing federal law. Will you issue a directive that ICE and CBP should be nowhere near polling places this November?
We have no plans to have ICE officers or law enforcement at polling locations.
Will you
States
issue a
are,
directive? She
responsible
doesn't
for
answer the
running their
question.
elections, and we're giving them tools and mitigation efforts that they can utilize in order to make sure they maintain the integrity of those elections, and that individuals can trust their systems to ensure that their vote counts.
Let me move on to training. I was long responsible for the second largest police agency in Delaware. I understand and recognize the critical role that training plays in keeping law enforcement officers safe, in making sure that they perform their important duties as effectively as possible, and that they understand the obligations of policing in a democracy. A whistleblower recently testified that ICE's training process is, quote, deficient, defective, and broken, raising concerns about how you cut training time in half, reducing training hours by 240, and cut out key courses on the use of force and constitutional obligations. He also testified to a culture of fear that pervades ICE and a constant effort to churn out more trained officers in order to achieve higher numbers. Your department put out a statement that the training is the same number of hours that officers have always received. So let's be clear. Is it your sworn testimony today, Madam Secretary, that training hours have not been reduced for any recruit compared to where they were, say, a year ago?
Senator, our ICE officers are trained when they come on board the department 56 days. We've changed the format of those days. Instead of 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. They now do 6 days a week, 12-hour days. We also give them 28 days of on-the-job training so they can have more hands-on experience with individuals that have served a longer period of time in law enforcement
not
and have that
answering the
experienced
question.
officer supporting them going forward. What I would say about your whistleblower is that your whistleblower came to FLETC, which is the area academy where we train over 130 different federal law enforcement agencies. He came there after we had changed our program and didn't experience how we trained our ICE officers previous to that on those 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. I don't know how he would speak to how
That's
ICE
not
used
true
to do
because he
that,
did
and
train
this
recruits
individual
before.
was only detailed there for a short period of time, a few months. And was
Reclaim your
required to
time.
be
Your
not an
agents
expert
in a number of places around the country have faced protests for how they've been conducting their policing. Do you specifically train your new recruits on how to handle peaceful protesters in the context of the First Amendment and their rights?
Yes, they are trained in that. And they are annually trained and updated with legal guidance, with constitutional provisions, de-escalation techniques, in driving techniques, medical aid, intervening, use of force. All of those are things that our individual officers are trained on.
January
What has
22nd,
happened?
you put out a press release that said enforcement and removal operations, ERO training, was 42 days. But on February 23rd, just a month later, the same day that the whistleblower testified, you issued a new press release saying it was 56 days. You seem to be making it up as you go along. Help me understand how you square those quite different numbers in terms of the total number of training days.
Our training for ICE officers is at 56 days with 28 days of on-the-job experience that they get as well. That continues their training, and their specialized training is above and beyond that as well. And we're grateful for those individuals, many of those individuals that have come and joined ICE. We had over 220,000 individuals apply to become ICE officers. We've hired approximately 12,000 of those, and many of those had previous law enforcement experience when they came to serve with us.
Last question, Madam
Yeah,
Secretary.
and many
about
people
Afghans.
have criminal background
Americans
that they
fought,
have not been
served,
able
and died in
to pass
Afghanistan over
background
20
checks,
years.
but they're
Many
hired
of our
anyway.
service members critically
Because
rely
cruelty
on translators
and
on Afghans
having
who served and fought
fascist
alongside them.
beliefs,
I've gotten
this
to know a
is the
number of them
requirement.
who came to this country and were thoroughly vetted and were frankly heroes who had risked their lives alongside Americans. At the moment, I believe your leadership at DHS has abandoned our commitment to the Afghans who served alongside us. There are currently many trapped in a center in Qatar, and at least 150 of them are the family of current active duty U.S. military forces. It is within your power to create a process for them to seek waivers of the refugee ban so they could come into the United States. Will you consider doing so?
We'll continue to do our due diligence on vetting individuals that come into this country, especially those who came in on a refugee program, and make sure that vetting process was thorough. We found deficiencies in how the Biden administration was doing that.
Will you commit to not
and I'll look
forcing
into
any
the
of them
situation.
back into the waiting arms of the Taliban, who will certainly torture or kill them?
We'll continue to look at every situation and make sure they qualify for the programs to how they're laid out in statute.
Madam Secretary, as I said at the outset, it's your obligation and mine to protect our homeland and American citizens in a way that is legal, effective, humane, and constitutional. My concern is that across all the different incidents that have been spoken about today, you are failing to do so. You are failing to deliver legal, humane, effective, and constitutional protection for the American people. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I got three things to do before I call on Senator Britt. First of all, Madam Secretary, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems to me the answer you should have given about Steve Bannon is he's not even in the administration.
Correct.
So why would he have any influence over what you're
So
doing?
helping her out with her answers.
Secondly, we're going to take a break after Britt, Blumenthal, and Schmidt. Lastly,
Yeah,
without
the chairman
objection,
really being
I'd like to
unbiased.
introduce evidence of potential human trafficking that I sent to the Biden administration as part of my unaccompanied children oversight. For over a decade, I've exposed how children in this category and the program associated with them.
Oh,
have
we're
been
going to talk
subject
about human trafficking? Are we going to talk about how your pedophile president is like one of the biggest proponents of this that engaged in this and funded this?
Harm, abuse, and even sex and labor trafficking. Thanks to Secretary Noem, Trump administration, greater
Get these
transparency has finally
mothballs
been
out
brought
of
to
power.
this issue. Senator Brett.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, Madam Secretary, for being here today. To echo what my colleague Senator Kennedy said, I appreciate you actually securing our border. The work that President Trump has done, and you alongside him, to make sure that we don't have
This
an
weirdo.
actual invasion happening every day, like we saw under the Biden.
An actual invasion while the U.S. is invading Iran is really wild. And also goes to show just how fractured this media landscape is, that how, like, these people really don't have a sense of shame. We've already known this, but she was one of these people that was, like, in up-and-coming MAGA hopeful, but, like, she's so weird, and, I mean, like, they all are, but she is especially weird with how she speaks, and people have been calling this out, like, even in MAGA, saying, like, yeah, she makes me uncomfortable, just because it's like, these people are not, like, real people. They're just little puppets for their corporate overlords, and they will say and do whatever they can to get into power and maintain power.
Administration. I believe we had about an average of 5,000 people a day that came over the border during the Biden administration, many of which are unaccounted for. When we're looking at kind of what is ahead of us,
So let's move ahead. I don't want to listen to her anymore.
But I am thinking about the children that
This
we know that came
weirdo.
unaccompanied.
I'm thinking about
Many
the
of them
children.
will find a
Sure you
pathway
are.
forward to fund the
Senator
program.
Blumenthal.
Thanks, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for being here today, Madam Secretary.
Oh, is she leaving then?
For a year,
Where's
you
she going?
maintained that no U.S. citizens have been arrested or detained by ICE or CBP after hearings that I conducted in the Permanent Subcommittee on Investigation as the ranking member.
Exactly. Bye.
You admitted finally in a
Glad
letter
you're taking your
written to
job
me,
seriously and are
just
staying for the whole thing.
last month that, in fact, U.S. citizens have been detained and arrested. I'm going to ask, Mr. Chairman, that that letter be entered into the record. Thank you. You put the number as 38. Far more American citizens have been arrested by ICE and CBP, probably in the hundreds, perhaps the thousands. Have you met with any of the American citizens who have been detained or arrested by your agency?
The individuals that may have been detained and arrested were individuals that could have been obstructing law enforcement operations and committing crimes that way, and that we would have met individuals until their identity was confirmed.
Leo, Javier, and Marimar, would you please stand? These three individuals, Madam Secretary, were arrested by your agency, Leonardo Garcia Venegas, Javier Ramirez, and Marimar Martinez. Do you know what your agents did to Leo Venegas? I'll tell you. On May 21 of last year,
Don't make them
they
stand
entered
forever.
the private property at a house that he was constructing without consent, without a warrant, illegally. Again, on June 12th, they
Don't make
entered
them
private
stand
property,
forever.
a home where he was doing construction.
They aren't
He is a
just
United
props.
States citizen, born in Florida. They seized him and ignored and disregarded his proof of citizenship. Wouldn't you agree with me that no U.S. citizen simply working
Are you going to make her
lawfully
apologize?
should be
Ask if she's
arrested?
going to apologize?
In law enforcement operations across the country, there are times when U.S.
It's a simple
citizens
yes or
may
no.
be arrested or detained until
Would
their
you agree
identity is
with me,
confirmed
Madam
and that they
Secretary,
haven't
that
committed a
U.S.
crime.
citizens should not be arrested when they are obeying the law, they have no criminal record, and they are engaged in a lawful activity?
Sir, in situations where law enforcement, regardless of the agency across the country, when there is probable
Let me
cause,
tell
an
you about
individual
Javier
may be-
Ramirez. Do you know what your agents did to Javier Ramirez? He was on his own private property when he was assaulted by masked agents,
Yeah,
his own
don't
property,
make them stand the whole time.
without a warrant, without consent. They said, get him. He's Mexican. He was violently slammed into the ground while being handcuffed and taken into custody, despite telling officers that he is a United States citizen and even showing them his passport. And when he was asked what he was being arrested for, you know what they said? We don't know. Wouldn't you agree that targeting someone just because he is or looks like he is Mexican when he is a United States citizen is wrong?
Senator, we do not target people based on their race or ethnicity. We do targeted operations based on criminal backgrounds and information that we have.
Madam Secretary, Javier was detained for over 4 days. He was denied medicine that he needed for severe diabetes. He lost consciousness. He had severe hypoglycemia. Wouldn't you agree with me that medical treatment should have been provided to him?
Senator,
denied.
Medical treatment is provided to individuals in our processing and detention centers. Within 12 hours, they have a medical examination. We get them the prescriptions and medication that they need. They also have a full evaluation.
Will you commit to take action and to look into why he was denied medical treatment?
Yes, I will look into that case specifically for you, Senator.
Marimar Martinez is with us today as well. She's standing right behind you. She was on her way to donate clothing at her church when she came across an unmarked car. The agents sideswiped her car. 3 masked agents in camouflage stormed out, and one of them pulled out his gun and fired at her moving vehicle, hitting her 5 times. She almost bled to death. Wouldn't you agree that shooting Miramar Martinez on her way to donate clothing at her church, a United States citizen from Chicago, is wrong?
Sir, I don't know the situation or the case. I'll look into it to ensure that all the
I'm
procedures.
glad
you
you'll
don't?
look into
You
it.
should.
Miramar, by the way, was falsely charged with impeding law enforcement, but the case actually fell apart. The judge dismissed it as being trumped up. He dismissed it with prejudice. And in fact, the agent who shot her, I'm not going to name him, but you know who he is,
You should.
was quoted on social media the day or so afterward. And he said, quote, I fired 5 rounds and she had 7 holes. Put that in your book, boys. And quote, cool, I'm up for another round of around and find out. Will you join me in condemning that agent?
Sir, that situation, I don't know the details of, but I will look into that.
I don't know why you can't join me in saying it was wrong to shoot Miramar, almost cause her death, and then brag about it. Wouldn't you agree with me that it was wrong?
Well, sir, the way that you have portrayed it, it appears to be, but let me look into the case so I can speak to the specifics of it.
In fact,
It
apparently,
appears to be.
contrary to what you just said, you actually supported the agent who shot Ms. Martinez 5 times.
Mm-hmm.
He's quoted as saying, when he was asked, everyone has been supportive, including Chief Bovino, Chief Banks, Secretary Noem, and El Jefe himself, referring presumably to President Trump. Is the agent who shot Ms. Martinez still on the job?
Sir, our law enforcement officers conduct operations every day according to procedures and to training and the experience that they have.
So that
When
means
there
yes.
Is the agent
when there is something that
who
is not
shot
done
Ms.
properly.
Martinez still on the job carrying a gun?
I don't know the details. I will find out and get that
Oh my
information to
God.
you.
Would you agree with me that he shouldn't be on the job
I
carrying
will
a gun?
look into this case and get back to you on the details. I'm not
I think
familiar
Americans
with it.
would find it absolutely terrifying that
Yes.
that agent is still on the job carrying a gun. And the fact that you can't tell me that you will take him off.
Sir,
Yeah,
do you know
it's very
do you know who
concerning.
Angel Samanago is? Do you recognize that name?
I
This is an
think we're
individual
talking about
that was
an
murdered
egregious
in your
illegality
No,
here.
don't let
by
her
an
do
illegal
this.
alien.
Rights
Don't let her
and
do
trust.
this.
The answers are
It looks
very
like it was
simple,
an assassination.
When
and
she's
I would
backed
hope
haven't
into
heard you say
the
you
one
could
backed
give
into
victim's
a
better
name
corner.
answers today
from illegal
to these
immigrants that
three
are here
individuals. Would
perpetuating
you like to
violence
say
against
anything
people.
to Ms. Miramar,
I'd
Ms.
like to hear you
Ramirez,
say the
or
name
Mr.
of one of our victims
Venegas?
of illegal criminal activity and fight for one of those victims so that we can stop as many of them from being created in the future by people who should never be in this country to begin with. Illegal
Well,
individuals and
charges
aliens that are
against
in this
Ms.
country.
Martinez
Don't let her
were
keep talking.
dismissed with prejudice. Let me ask you about a memo that
Let them sit down
evidently was written by the acting
so these
director
people
of ICE.
aren't just continually re-traumatized by what's
This
happening,
memo-
used as as
Have you seen
political
it?
talking
I
points.
can't tell what it says. I see lots of memos. I see
Well, this memo
many a
is
day.
by acting director Todd Lyons. It's been frequently referenced in the hearing that I conducted by the whistleblower who testified, Brian Schwank, as being the basis for instructing ICE agents. It specifically says that ICE agents should violate the Fourth Amendment and break into people's homes without a judicial warrant. Do you agree with it?
I will look at that memo, sir. I can't read it from here, but if it's referencing administrative warrants, that is the proper legal tool that this body has given us to utilize on immigration enforcement operations. Those administrative warrants were provided and affirmed by the Supreme
Let me ask
Court.
you one last
and we'll
question.
continue to use those.
Madam Secretary, does Corey Lewandowski have a role in approving contracts? And if so, what is that role?
This moment is fierce. Corey Lewandowski is the person that she's having an affair with that is causing a stir among some in MAGA, apparently. They're going to still continue to get away with whatever they're doing because that's just how this works, apparently, that they're not being held accountable. But this is important because it is calling out the affair and also that he has access to her and the president and that he is technically not an employee.
His role as a special government employee, and special government employees work for the White House and the administration. There's thousands of them.
Okay. Oh, he does have a role.
Senator Schmidt.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Since we're having folks stand up, I would have Laken Riley stand up. I would have Kayla Hamilton stand up. I would have Jocelyn Ngari stand up.
Of course,
I would have
you
Rachel Morin stand
selectively choosing all of these people, acts of violence from immigrants who are undocumented, not while completely ignoring the fact that there are, okay, so that's the end. Wow. We should have seen a much stronger show, especially from Amy Klobuchar. That was very weak. Anyway, they want to just cherry pick these statistics when in actuality, what we know that the DOJ is currently doing right now, that they have been doing, is deleting any sort of reports, national reports that show that white Christian nationalists are the number one group who are most likely to commit violent crimes. It's not an accident that they are trying to erase this evidence, that they're deeply invested in data suppression, and that they are trying to do this as a way to rewrite the narrative and have this sort of just to have a completely blank slate, which isn't a thing, to work from and saying like, oh, they want to define who criminals are. And this is why we need to constantly be paying attention to the kind of language that is being used, who is being talked about as a criminal, because this is a complete separation from what it means to not abide by the law. So they are actively, intentionally violating the Constitution and people's constitutional rights and their human rights, their human dignity. And this is also something that like just has to stop, that we need to be contacting our representatives about. And especially with this happening in the same instance of like this hearing happening while all of this is happening with Iran, of talking about like, okay, well, it seems like we have a lot of foreign things that are happening that maybe we should send ICE to. Let's send ICE to the front lines. We can have Barron lead the charge alongside Trump and Netanyahu and his son, that we need to have everybody who is in Congress be on the front lines and their kids. I think that seems fair. Everyone in the administration, especially since Congress didn't approve this. So maybe not Congress, but the Congress members that are supporting it. But how about that? That instead. Okay. Anyway, this war just keeps escalating, and that is frightening. Now, the U.S. will most likely get a lot of backlash, and that is not for no reason. I'm getting out my reading gloves. Hello. And if we thought 9/11 was bad, like, we have a lot to be concerned about with the blowback from all of this happening, especially when Iran was entering into these negotiations in good faith, and that this strike happened in the middle of negotiations, which is par for the course for the US, par for the course for Israel as well. So make sure you're contacting your representatives, talking about this, going to protests. If you have not signed a strike card to the general strike, then do that. Okay. Shall we get into the reading? Let's do it. Okay. So we finished volume 1, and now we're at volume 2. So we ended with going back into like the present moment, since the narration is done by Nellie, who is a servant at the time to Mr. Lockwood, recent tenant of Thrush Cross Grange. She is relating the story of Heathcliff and Catherine and the people, the Earnshaws, people at Wuthering Heights, to give background on the relationships there and the property. And so she is telling him all of this because he was asking specifically. So we are returning to his perspective right now. Okay. Another week over, and I'm so many days nearer health and spring. I've now heard all my neighbors' history, at different sittings as the housekeeper could spare time from more important occupations. I'll continue it in her own words, only a little condensed. She is, on the whole, a very fair narrator, and I don't think I could improve her style. In the evening, she said, the evening of my visit to the Heights. So this is like him pretending to be Nellie. So Nellie, we already have to question her reliability as a narrator, but especially Mr. Lockwood, as he talks about things. He's very classist and elitist. So this is through his eyes, and we will see if this like changes the voice at all, or any sort of the perspective. I knew as well as I saw him that Mr. Heathcliff was about the place, and I shunned going out, because I still carried his letter in my pocket and didn't want to be threatened or teased anymore. I had made up my mind not to give it till my master went somewhere, as I could not guess how its receipt would affect Catherine. The consequence was that it did not reach her before the lapse of 3 days. The 4th was Sunday, and I brought into her room after the family was gone to church. There was a manservant left to keep the house with me, and we generally made a practice of locking the doors during the hours of service. But on that occasion, the weather was so warm and pleasant that I set them wide open, and to fulfill my engagement, as I knew who would be coming, I told my companion that the mistress wished very much for some oranges, and he must run over to the village and get a few to be paid for on the morrow. He departed, and I went upstairs. So making sure that, like, they're setting aside a time for Heathcliff to come visit Kathy, that is what she's arranging right now, as previously discussed in the other chapter. Mrs. Linton sat in a loose white dress, with a light shawl over her shoulders, in the recess of the open window, as usual. Her thick, long hair had been partly removed at the beginning of her illness, and now she wore it simply combed in its natural tresses over her temples and cheek. Her appearance was altered, as I had told Heathcliff, but when she was calm, there seemed unearthly beauty in the change. The flash of her eyes had been succeeded by a dreamy and melancholy softness, so meaning like when she isn't she isn't standing up for herself as much, doesn't have as much autonomy from what it seems, or like her faculties about her, that when she is ill, people like her more. So, like, she was, and Kathy can be very cruel, but also, like, saying that, like, this is a preferred way for her to be is sad. They no longer gave the impression of looking at the objects around her. They appeared always to gaze beyond, and far beyond. You would have said out of this world. Then the paleness of her face, its haggard aspect having vanished as she recovered flesh, and the peculiar expression arising from her mental state, though painfully suggestive of their causes, added to the touching interest which she wakened, and invariably to me, I know, to any person who saw her, I should think, refuted more tangible proofs of convalescence, and stamped her as one doomed to decay. A book lay spread on the sill before her, and the scarcely perceptible wind fluttered its leaves at intervals. I believe Linton had laid it there, for she never endeavored to divert herself with reading, or occupation of any kind, and he would spend many an hour in trying to entice her attention to some subject which had formerly been her amusement. She was conscious of his aim, and in her better moods endured his efforts placidly, only showing their uselessness by now and then suppressing a wearied sigh, and checking him at last with the saddest of smiles and kisses. At other times, she would turn petulantly away and hide her face in her hands, or even push him off angrily, and then he took care to let her alone, for he was certain of doing no good. Gimmerton chapel bells were still ringing, and the full mellow flow of the beck in the valley came soothingly on the ear. It was a sweet substitute for the yet absent murmur of the summer foliage, which drowned that music about the grange when the trees were in leaf. At Wuthering Heights, it always sounded on quiet days, following a great thaw or a season of steady rain. And of Wuthering Heights, Catherine was thinking as she listened, that is, if she thought or listened at all, but she had the vague, distant look mentioned before, which expressed no recognition of material things either by ear or eye. "There's a letter for you, Mrs. Linton," I said gently, inserting it in one hand that rested on her knee. "You must read it immediately, because it wants an answer. Shall I break the seal?" "Yes," she answered, without altering the direction of her eyes. I opened it. It was very short. "Now," I continued, "read it." She drew away her hand and let it fall. I replaced it in her lap and stood waiting till it should please her to glance down, but that movement was so long delayed that at last I resumed. "Must I read it, ma'am? It is from Heathcliff." "Oh, Mr. Heathcliff." There was a start, and a troubled gleam of recollection, and a struggle to arrange her ideas. She lifted the letter and seemed to peruse it, and when she came to the signature, she sighed. Yet still, I found she had not gathered its import, for upon my desiring to hear her reply, she merely pointed to the name and gazed at me with mournful and questioning eagerness. "Well, he wishes to see you," I said, guessing her need of an interpreter. "He's in the garden by this time, and impatient to know what answer I shall bring." As I spoke, I observed a large dog lying on the sunny grass beneath, it raising its ears as if about to bark, and then smoothing them back, announced by a wag of the tail that someone approached whom it did not consider a stranger. Mrs. Linton bent forward and listened breathlessly. The minute after a step traversed the hall, the open house was too tempting for Heathcliff to resist walking in. Most likely, he supposed that I was inclined to shirk my promise, and so resolved to trust his own audacity. With straining eagerness, Catherine gazed towards the entrance of her chamber. He did not hit the right room directly. She motioned me to admit him, but he found it out. Ere I could reach the door, and in a stride or two was at her side, and had her grasped in his arms. He neither spoke nor loosed his hold for some 5 minutes, during which period he bestowed more kisses than ever he gave in his life before, I dare say. But then my mistress had kissed him first, and I plainly saw that he could hardly bear, for downright agony, to look into her face. The same conviction had stricken him as me, from the instant he beheld her, that there was no prospect of ultimate recovery there. She was fated, sure to die. "Oh, Cathy! Oh, my life! How can I bear it?" was the first sentence he uttered, in a tone that did not seek to disguise his despair. And now he stared at her so earnestly that I thought the very intensity of his gaze would bring tears into his eyes, but they burned with anguish. They did not melt. "What now?" said Catherine, leaning back, and returning his look with a suddenly clouded brow. Her humor was a mere vein for constantly varying caprices. "You and Edgar have broken my heart, Heathcliff, and you both came to bewail the deed to me, as if you were the people to be pitied. I shall not pity you, not I. You have killed me, and thriven on it. Oh, thriven on it, I think. How strong you are. How many years do you mean to live after I am gone?" Heathcliff had knelt on one knee to embrace her. He attempted to rise, but she seized his hair and kept him down. "I wish I could hold you," she continued bitterly, "till we were both dead. I shouldn't care what you suffered. I care nothing for your sufferings. Why shouldn't you suffer? I do. Will you forget me? Will you be happy when I am in the earth?" Footnote. Oh, this is interesting on volume 2. Wuthering Heights was in fact published in 2 volumes. The 3rd volume of this edition consisted of Anne Bronte's Agnes Grey. So, Agnes Grey didn't even get its own book originally. That's sad. Okay, so this is a poem, When I Am in the Earth, that it seems to be referencing by Emily Bronte, called Remembrance. Cold in the earth, and the deep snow piled above thee, far, far removed, cold in the dreary grave. Have I forgot, my only love, to love thee, severed at last by time's all-severing wave? Okay. Will you say 20 years hence, "That's the grave of Catherine Earnshaw. I loved her long ago, and was wretched to lose her, but it is past. I've loved many others since. My children are dearer to me than she was, and at death I shall not rejoice that I am going to her. I shall be sorry that I must leave them. Will you say so, Heathcliff?" "Don't torture me till I'm as mad as yourself," cried he, wrenching his head free and grinding his teeth. The two, to a cool spectator, made a strange and fearful picture. Well might Catherine deem that heaven would be a land of exile to her, unless, with her mortal body, she cast away her mortal character also. Her present countenance had a wild vindictiveness in its white cheek, and a bloodless lip, and a scintillating eye, and she retained in her closed fingers a portion of the locks she had been grasping. As to her companion, so they're both being cruel, So she's intentionally being cruel with her words and also grabbing his hair. He seems to be a little bit rough with her. While raising himself with one hand, he had taken her arm with the other, and so inadequate was his stock of gentleness to the requirements of her condition that on letting his go, I saw 4 distinct impressions left blue on the colorless skin. "Are you possessed with a devil?" he pursued savagely, "to talk in that manner to me? When you are dying, do you reflect that all those words will be branded in my memory and eating deeper internally after you have left me? You know you lied to say I've killed you. And Catherine, you know that I could soon forget you as my existence. Is it not sufficient for your infernal selfishness that while you are at peace, I shall writhe in the torments of hell?" He's like, you chose to marry Linton, and now you are upset for me coming back, and you can't have it both ways. So, and that is essentially what is leading to Catherine's demise. "I shall not be at peace," moaned Catherine, recalled to a sense of physical weakness by the violent, unequal throbbing of her heart, which beat visibly and audibly under this excess of agitation. She said nothing further till the paroxysm was over. Then she continued more kindly. Excuse me. "I'm not wishing you greater torment than I have, Heathcliff. I only wish us never to be parted, and should a word of mine distress you hereafter, I think the same distress underground, and for my sake, and for my own sake, forgive me. Come here, and kneel down again. You never harmed me in your life. Nay, if you nurse anger, that will be worse to remember than my harsh words. Won't you come here again? Do." Heathcliff went to the back of her chair and leant over, but not so far as to let her see his face, which was livid with emotion. She bent round to look at him. He would not permit it. Turning abruptly, he walked to the fireplace where he stood silent with his back towards us. Mrs. Linton's glance followed him suspiciously. Every movement woke a new sentiment in her. After a pause and a prolonged gaze, she resumed, addressing me in accents of indignant disappointment. "Oh, you see, Nellie, he would not relent a moment to keep me out of the grave. That is how I'm loved? Well, never mind. That is not my Heathcliff. I shall love mine yet, and take him with me. He's in my soul. And," added she musingly, "the thing that irks me most is this shattered prison after all. I'm tired of being enclosed here. A wearying to escape into the glorious world and to be always there, not seeing it dimly through tears, and yearning for it through walls of an aching heart, but really with it and in it." Okay, we have another footnote. To be always there. A longing to escape this world provides a recurring theme in Emily's poetry, as for example in the poem Anticipation. And this is the poem. "Glad comforter, will not I not be brave, unawed the darkness of the grave? Nay, smile to hear death's billows rave, sustained my guide by thee? The more unjust seems present fate, the more my spirit swells elate, strong in thy strength to anticipate rewarding destiny." I mean, like feeling like you're destined to die, essentially. Which is heavy. And also another reason why I think, like, people are like, Emily Bronte is agoraphobic, she didn't like society, and I think that's true, but I also think that she was queer, because she never wanted to get married, and also, I think there isn't a whole lot of evidence. I just think the whole, like, not wanting to be out in society because she really does not want to meet men, that is possibly a factor. Okay. "Nellie, you think you are better and more fortunate than I. In full health and strength, you are sorry for me. Very soon that will be altered. I shall be sorry for you. I shall be incomparably beyond and above you all. I wonder he won't be near me. she went on to herself. "I thought he wished it. Heathcliff, dear, you should not be sullied now. Do come to me, Heathcliff." In her eagerness, she rose and supported herself on the arm of the chair. At that earnest appeal, he turned to her, looking absolutely desperate. His eyes, wide and wet, at last flashed fiercely on her. His breast heaved convulsively. An instant they held asunder, and then how they met I hardly saw, but Catherine made a spring, and he caught her, and they were locked in an embrace from which I thought my mistress would never be released alive. In fact, to my eyes, she seemed directly insensible. He flung himself into the nearest seat, and on my approaching hurriedly to ascertain if she had fainted, he gnashed at me and foamed like a mad dog, and gathered her to him with greedy jealousy. I did not feel as if I were in the company of a creature of my own species. It appeared that he would not understand, though I spoke to him, so I stood off and held my tongue in great perplexity. Just constantly comparing him to an animal. I mean, he has emotions. A movement of Catherine's relieved me a little presently. She put up her hand to clasp his neck and bring her cheek to his as he held her, while he, in return, covering her with frantic caresses, said wildly, "What? You teach me now how cruel you've been. Cruel and false. Why did you despise me? Why did you betray your own heart, Cathy? I have not one word of comfort. You deserve this. You have killed yourself. Yes, you may kiss me and cry, and wring out my kisses and tears. They'll blight you. They'll damn you. You loved me. Then what right had you to leave me? What right, answer me, for the poor fancy you felt for Linton? Because misery and degradation and death and nothing that God or Satan could inflict would have parted us. You, of your own will, did it. I have not broken your heart. You have broken it. And in breaking it, you have broken mine. So much the worse for me that I am strong. Do I want to live? What kind of living will it be when you... Oh God, would you like to live with your soul in the grave? Footnote. This is from another Emily Bronte poem called I'll Not Weep That Thou Art Going to Leave Me. Okay. So if a tear when thou art dying should haply fall from me, it is but that my soul is sighing to go and rest with thee. That's a pretty poem. "Let me alone, sobbed Catherine. "If I've done wrong, I'm dying for it. It is enough. You left me too, but I won't upbraid you. I forgive you. Forgive me." "It is hard to forgive, and to look at those eyes and feel those wasted hands," he answered. "Kiss me again, and don't let me see your eyes. I forgive what you have done to me. I love my murderer. But yours? How can I?" They were silent, their faces hid against each other, and washed by each other's tears. At least, I suppose the weeping was on both sides, as it seemed Heathcliff could weep on a great occasion like this. Just because you haven't seen him cry doesn't mean that he doesn't cry at all, bitch. I grew very uncomfortable meanwhile. Yeah, I would say, you're just watching. For the afternoon wore fast away. The man whom I had sent off returned from his errand, and I could distinguish by the shine of the westering sun up the valley a concourse thickening outside Gimmerton Chapel porch. "Service is over," I announced. "My master will be here in half an hour." Heathcliff groaned a curse and strained Catherine closer. She never moved. Ere long, I perceived a group of the servants passing up the road towards the kitchen wing. Mr. Linton was not far behind. He opened the gate himself and sauntered slowly up, probably enjoying the lovely afternoon that breathed as soft as summer. "Now he is here!" I exclaimed. "For heaven's sake, hurry down! You'll not meet anyone on the front stairs. Do be quick, and stay among the trees till he is fairly in." "I must go, Cathy," said Heathcliff, seeking to extricate himself from his companion's arms. "But if I live, I'll see you again before you are asleep. I won't stray 5 yards from your window." "You must not go," she answered, holding him as firmly as her strength allowed. "You shall not, I tell you." "For 1 hour," he pleaded earnestly. "Not for 1 minute," she replied. "I must. Linton will be up immediately." persisted the alarmed intruder. He would have risen and unfixed her fingers by the act. She clung fast, gasping. There was mad resolution in her face. "No!" she shrieked. "Oh, don't go! It is the last time. Edgar will not hurt us. Heathcliff, I shall die. I shall die." "Damn the fool, there he is," cried Heathcliff, sinking back into his seat. "Hush, my darling. Hush, hush, Catherine. I'll stay. If he shot me so, I'd expire with the blessing on my lips." And there they were, fast again. I heard my master mounting the stairs, and the cold sweat ran from my forehead. I was horrified. "Are you going to listen to her ravings?" I said passionately. "She does not know what she says. Will you ruin her because she has not wit to help herself? Get up. You could be free instantly. That is the most diabolical deed that you ever did. We are all done for, master, mistress, and servant." I wrung my hands and cried out, and Mr. Linton hastened his step at the noise. In the midst of my agitation, I was sincerely glad to observe that Catherine's arm had fallen relaxed, and her head hung down. "She's fainted or dead," I thought. "So much the better." Damn. Far better that she should be dead than lingering a burden and a misery maker to all about her. Damn. That's harsh, but also she is causing a lot of pain. Edgar sprang to his unbidden guest, blanched with astonishment and rage. What he meant to do, I cannot tell, however. The other stopped all demonstrations at once by placing the lifeless-looking form in his arms. "Look there," he said, "unless you be a fiend, help her first. Then you shall speak to me." He walked into the parlor and sat down. Mr. Linton summoned me, and with great difficulty, after resorting to many means, we managed to restore her to sensation. But she was all bewildered. She sighed and moaned, and knew nobody. Edgar, in his anxiety for her, forgot her hated friend. I did not. I went in at the earliest opportunity and besought him to depart, affirming that Catherine was better, and he should hear from me in the morning how she passed the night. "I shall not refuse to go out of doors," he answered, "but I shall stay in the garden. And Nellie, mind you keep your word tomorrow. I shall be under those larch trees, mind, or I pay another visit, whether Linton be in or not." He sent a rapid glance through the half-open door of the chamber, and ascertaining that what I stated was apparently true, delivered the house of his luckless presence. His luckless presence? She speaks about Heathcliff in, a not nice way. So, it makes sense why he can be angry at times. Okay. I think that's going to be it for me today. But tomorrow is Banned Book Club. We'll be reading to chapter 12, I believe. I need to double check. Yes, to chapter 12. So we're reading 9, 10, 11. And if you want to come and discuss, feel free. But I'll also be going over more excuse me, resistance tactics for this war that's happening, for the bullshit happening. So, anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for being here. It was good chatting with you. And I will see you sometime soon, tomorrow. Anyway, I hope you have a good rest of your day or evening, wherever you are. And I'll see you soon. Okay, bye.